560, The Answer, WIND, Chicago.
He'll make a run for the border. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump will go to Texas today to keep up his push for a border wall the day after he walked out of a meeting with Democratic congressional leaders, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
I said to him, Mr. President, the evidence of what's happening there does not support the crisis that you describe, and therefore the solution you suggest, because we have a better idea of how to keep our country safe.
Afterwards, the president taking to Twitter saying, just left a meeting with Chuck and Nancy, a total waste of time. I asked, what is going to happen in 30 days if I quickly open things up? Are you going to approve border security, which includes a wall or steel barrier? Nancy said no. I said, bye-bye. Nothing else works. Where the president visits today is McAllen, Texas. It's significant because it's considered ground zero because it is the heaviest illegal border crossing area. And in some areas, it has a wall. In others, it doesn't.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins. This is day 20 of the partial government shutdown in this wall funding standoff. About 800,000 federal workers will not get paychecks tomorrow. 2 police officers have been shot. One is dead in Shreveport, Louisiana. She was off duty at the time, but getting ready for work.
It appeared that the officer was getting ready to come onto shift.
Shreveport Police Corporal Marcus Hines says they have a person in custody for questioning but not under arrest at this point. The other officer was wounded in Raleigh, North Carolina, trying to make an arrest. He is now out of surgery. No word on his condition, but police are asking for prayers. 2 suspects are in custody. Sentencing is today in Maryland for a man convicted of murdering an undercover police detective, even though he didn't shoot him. Michael Ford shot at the police station in Prince George's County. That led to an undercover detective opening fire back, but he was in plain clothes, and another officer shot the detective, mistaking him for a threat. This is Fox News.
Skies are cloudy. Very chilly start to the day. 11 degrees at 5:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Prosecutors in Georgia and Illinois may file charges soon as today against R&B singer R. Kelly following a Lifetime docu-series. Here in Chicago, more women are coming forward with allegations of inappropriate conduct by Kelly. Sun-Times reports at least 2 have contacted Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx and her office since yesterday.
I'm here today to encourage victims of sexual assault or domestic violence related to these allegations to please get in touch with our office.
Fox called for any possible victims of the R&B singer to come forward and after the airing of the series. Meantime, Kelly is facing backlash here in Chicago over abuse allegations featured in the series. Protesters, spurred by some Chicago area radio stations, gathered last night outside the R&B singer's West Side studio space to call for a boycott of his music. Kelly may be booted from that studio space, as the building's owner says he's owed about $80,000 in back rent. Chicago Alderman Ricardo Munoz is in rehab after being charged with domestic battery in an incident involving his wife on New Year's Eve. Munoz has checked himself into a facility in Indiana. The move comes after his wife accused him of grabbing and pushing her during a heated argument at their Little Village home December 31st. A former Illinois lawmaker looking at a dozen felony counts after investigators saying he shared his ex-girlfriend's naked pictures online. Lake County prosecutors filed charges yesterday against Nick Sauer. The indictment says Sauer is accused of posting the pictures online under a fake social media profile. Sauer resigned from the legislature last year when allegations first broke. Former basketball coach at a charter school on the city's west side is charged with sexually assaulting 2 teenage students. Jamel Jones was denied bail during a hearing yesterday. Prosecutors say he carried on a sexual relationship with 2 students who attended Legal Prep Charter Academy between February 2017 and this past October. An investigation is underway after a DePaul University student was kidnapped near the school's Northside campus and then robbed at gunpoint. Police say the man was walking Tuesday night near a McDonald's restaurant when a black car and 3 inside pulled up. The trio forced him at gunpoint into the car, drove him to an abandoned house on the west side where he was robbed and then released. An Indiana man is accused of intentionally killing another man by running him over with a pickup truck this week on Chicago's South Side. This is an update to a story we told you about earlier this week where Keith Watley has been charged in the murder of the death of Carlos Posadas. Witnesses say Watley was the pickup driver who purposely hit Posadas on Monday. Investigators say Watley and Posadas knew each other and had argued the previous day. The mother of former Northwestern University basketball player Jordan Hankins now blames a sorority for her daughter's death. Hankins' mother filed suit this week against Alpha Kappa Alpha, claiming that her daughter was a victim of hazing by sorority members that caused severe anxiety and depression, and that led to her suicide in 2017. The Bears are losing defensive coordinator Vic Fangio to the Broncos. Denver hired him as their new head coach. It's the first head coaching job for Fangio, who guided the Bear defense that ranked number 1 in the NFL in points allowed this season. Fangio's been a coordinator in a professional career that dates back to 1984. Well, you wouldn't think they would be at the Consumer Electronics Show, but there they are in Las Vegas. Illinois' largest agricultural technology company, John Deere. Yes, those guys who make the big green tractors, showing off its technology at CES, right alongside the latest TVs and cell phones. Deere is, in fact, showcasing a driverless tractor at CES this week. Philip Forsberg scored in overtime. Nashville earned a 4-3 win over the Blackhawks at the UC. Blackhawks center Jonathan Toews says the Preds are in first place in the Central for a reason.
It's a two-way game, and they're a pretty good team. There's a reason why they're where they're at in the standings. So those are the division games that aren't going to come easy. So we gave ourselves a chance at the end, just didn't finish it.
Chicago's Artem Anisimov sent the game into OT with a late third-period goal. C.J. McCollum, 24. Blazers over the Bulls in Portland, 124-112. College hoops, Northwestern lost to Iowa. Tomorrow, UIC hosts Youngstown State, and Western Illinois travels to North Dakota. The news service of Peloton, a game-changing indoor cycling bike that brings the energy of live studio classes to your home anytime you want. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom. 5:07, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
President Trump will deliver his second State of the Union address on Tuesday, January 29th. And to mark the occasion, AM 560, The Answer, is throwing a party. It's a taste of freedom, a State of the Union viewing party presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. Enjoy dinner and drinks as you watch the speech with fellow AM 560 listeners. Tickets are on sale now for just $64 at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson with a great way to start a new year. Get the MyPillow 4-pack. You'll be so happy with 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, plus free shipping. All for the normal price of 1 premium MyPillow. You know, I've been telling you for years that they're the best pillows money can buy. The bottom line is you will sleep better and feel better. MyPillow is washable, dryable, and has a money-back offer if you're not happy. And here's more good news. You can still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper and pet beds that you've heard me rave about. Just be sure to use the promo code Amy to get the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping and the 30% discount on everything else, including mattress toppers and pet beds. Visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And don't forget to use the promo code Amy. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
Hi, I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. And I'm also the host of the IRS Radio Hour.
And I'm Jim Leahy, the co-host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here every Sunday evening at 5 on AM 560.
The Answer. I know you want a local attorney you can look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So today we have a special offer, a good night's sleep.
A good night's sleep? Are you trying to give away a pillow?
Great guess, Jim. But no, I want to help people solve the problems that are keeping them up at night. If you fear the IRS will take away your money, freeze your bank account, garnish your wages, visit your home or job, and now they can take away your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good.
Call attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man at 312-664-6649, 312-664-6649, and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why can't more things in life be customizable? Why can't I buy Neapolitan ice cream without strawberry? Can't I just have the chocolate and vanilla flavors I'm comfortable with? Do people even want a fruity ice cream flavor sandwiched right between the classics? Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Oh, hey.
Hey, did you hear? My friend's company was the victim of an email impersonation attack.
It's a serious threat to every business.
What if cybercriminals target us and trick accounting into making a wire transfer?
Don't worry. We have Barracuda.
So we're secured?
Yeah. Barracuda uses artificial intelligence to detect and block spear phishing and account takeover attempts.
What a relief.
Don't become a victim. Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Want to recharge when you travel for business? Get a boost and stay at La Quinta by Wyndham. You can charge 5 devices in room and recharge yourself with a pillow top mattress and a bright side breakfast. Book now at lq.com and win at business.
5:11 and a check on your morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Roads are looking pretty good at this hour. There is some morning construction on I-65 southbound at 231 in Crown Point. The right lane is closed there. That work is scheduled till 7 this morning. We're not seeing any significant delays. There's also work on the outbound Ryan Expressway again today, 87th to the split. 3 right lanes are closed today until 6 this morning. So is the entrance from 87th. Inbound, the Rhine looks good. Traffic starting to build up just a little bit approaching downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, just a little congestion approaching the merge. Otherwise, they're okay. No problems to report on the other Chicago area expressways and tollways. No problems to report on the rails at this hour. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Not as cold today. Partly sunny skies, though. High 29. It'll be partly cloudy tonight. Low 21. More clouds than sun around tomorrow. High 36. Clouds and snow on Saturday, accumulating up to an inch and a high 35. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
14 at O'Hare, 17 along the lakefront. Our next news update is at 5:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Townstone Financial. Visiting townstone.com for a home refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgage is the smart choice.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. All right, you do Ed McMahon, and I'll do Johnny Carson. All right.
Okay.
Right. How tough is marriage?
I don't know, Johnny. How tough?
How tough is it?
Wait.
Come on.
How tough is it?
It's so tough that one guy's willing to pay $67 billion to get out of it. Hi-oh! Thank you. You picked up
Ladies,
Ed McMahon on the back
right,
end.
Yeah, I see.
Nice.
Yeah, and ladies, we got a single guy out there. He's bald, follically challenged, but that's okay. He's got, if he stood on his money, he'd be very, very, very tall.
So yesterday, Jeff Bezos, Amazon CEO, and his wife Mackenzie announced an amicable divorce. We'll see about that. I love
How amicable is it?
Yeah, right.
It's so amicable, we released a joint statement because things are going well right now.
They think chili fire or military intelligence is an oxymoron. amicable divorce.
There you go.
That's right up there. Yeah, so he's turning 55. We talked a little bit about midlife crisis.
Wait, he's
yesterday.
55.
He turned 55.
No offense.
In a couple of days.
And probably that's not going to help me out, in the competition. He looks like he's 65. That's a bad looking 55-year-old.
Well, because it's got like that bald worm look. It's
might
kind
wanna-
of like a Lex Luthor mini me.
Yeah.
It
But now
doesn't
that
look
he's
good.
going to get on the market again, he might want to consider Botox or maybe a facelift or, maybe a facial. Start with that.
Well, I'm happy to tell you, Amy. Well, not so happy, but he apparently is otherwise dating somebody. I mean,
wait, let me guess. A 25-year-old Asian woman?
it's interesting. So when it was announced the divorce was that they were getting divorced yesterday. The betting sites.
They bet on this?
No, they bet on the age of his girlfriend. You could bet on the age of his girlfriend. The line was 28.5. I took the over.
Yeah, and?
My friend Matt Hickey took the under. Such a child. Of course no. A little worm like him, he's not going to. 49.
His girlfriend's 49.
And married.
Oh, that's
That's the kicker. So, yeah, it turns out that
Do you have a
apparently.
picture of her? I want to see.
Yeah.
See.
David Pecker, of course.
Oh, of course.
And the boys over at the Inquirer got the drop on Bezos. Apparently, they've been following him and his girlfriend.
Yeah, because he and his wife have been having what do you call it?
Trial separation. Yeah.
That's the name of my grade school band, Trial Separation.
Mm-hmm. It was
love
an
that.
Erasure cover band,
Yeah,
if I recall.
exactly, yeah.
So here's the thing. She is married, his girlfriend apparently, and the Inquirer was tailing them all over the world. Married to this a big-time Hollywood agent. No, not Ari Emanuel, but an agent that represents like Matt Damon, that represents Hugh Jackman.
okay.
And apparently that's how she met Bezos. And
Wait.
And that could be, we don't know, and I don't want to turn this into.
Whoa! Is it?
I don't want to turn this into the talk, or the Chew, or the View, or the Stew, or whatever those shows are. But yeah, it turns out that maybe this is the cause of the divorce. Is that he's having an affair and she's having an affair.
It's Lauren Sanchez.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The Lauren Sanchez.
No, I know Lauren Sanchez. I've met Lauren. Wait. Can I process this for a second?
Did you used to?
I used to date her. I went to prom with her.
Did you? Surprised me. Heady days.
Mm-hmm.
They.
She looks an awful lot like his current wife, but
no.
Darky, like the dark hairs.
Yeah. On one occasion, so the Inquirer, during a blockbuster 4-month investigation, the Inquirer tracked Bezos, who turns 55, January 12th, as I said, and his secret lover, Sanchez, across 5 states, 40,000 miles, and private jets, swanky limos, helicopter rides, romantic hikes, 5-star hideaways, intimate dinner dates, and quality time in hidden love nests. So, one occasion, they enjoyed a secret tryst at the very Boston, Massachusetts hotel the Bezos family stayed at when in town for Parents' Day at his son's MIT campus.
How dare he?
Sir.
Soil the sheets.
So that the Inquirer alleges, and on these rather,
I love how they said we would do it all again. What?
Well, I mean, but it's just, I mean, I'm sourcing the Inquirer here, so that demands an explanation. But on these matters,
they rule on these matters.
Yeah, on the seedy matters, they are the paper of record.
Yeah, they have people who live in their vans following these people.
Well, as I just mentioned.
Oh yeah.
To follow them all over the world.
My friend's the one who busted John Edwards' girlfriend coming out of her doctor's office.
So you're friends with Lauren Sanchez and friends with people at the Inquirer.
Oh yeah. Well, I worked there for a while.
Oh right.
Yeah. Remember? Because they called me and asked me if my son was Rob Blagojevich's, and then that parlayed into a job. And I worked for them for a while. And back then they were heavily vetted. I had not to go to through one attorney, but 2.
And what was the answer to that question?
What was the answer to what question?
If your son was Rob Blagojevich.
Oh, please. If you can get pregnant through a handshake, maybe. But I've shaken a lot of hands, so I don't know.
Don't be throwing around metaphors. All right. So anyway.
And then my friend also, just real quick, followed Tiger Woods. Remember at the sex clinic? he got that shot of him at the sex clinic. He's really good at his job.
Apparently.
Lives in a van. But he's, you know what? He's dedicated.
Pecker kind of poking back for Trump on this, taking down Bezos.
Yeah.
Sticking it into Pecker, sort of stuck it into Bezos.
Wait, you don't think Mackenzie and Lauren Sanchez look a little bit alike? Lauren's augmented. Mackenzie's just an older version of Lauren.
She's augmented.
What?
What do you mean?
Oh, she's got fake. Well, she's clearly had breast implants.
Oh, the tatas.
Yeah. And her eyelashes and her lips. Probably a facelift. Oh, she's beautiful.
Oh, that's great. The statement that they released, a joint statement. And I guess when, $65 to $70 billion on the line, you're going to play along with the PR game. We want to make people aware of how development in our lives. As our family and close friends know, after a long period of loving exploration and trial separation.
That's the best.
Loving exploration was my high school garage band's name.
Oh, they see that.
We were a Christopher Cross tribute band.
Yeah. Ride like the wind, baby.
After a long period of loving exploration and trial separation, we've decided to divorce and continue our shared lives as friends. That's so great. We feel incredibly lucky to have found each other, deeply grateful for each of the years we've been married to each other. If we had known we would separate after 25 years, we'd do it all again.
Let's do it again, huh?
We had a good run.
Quarter of a century, huh?
We've made such a great life together as a married couple, and we also see wonderful futures ahead as parents, friends, partners in ventures and projects. Sure, it's his money.
Yeah.
Well.
She had to manage things at home while he was out.
No, I mean.
And they live in Washington State where everything that you made during the time of your marriage, you have to split equally.
Well,
so people made fun of Elon Nordegren getting $100 million from Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
This is going to blow that away. What did you say? $67 billion?
Well, he's worth right now about $140 billion, so she'll get 60, depending on where the stock price is.
Yeah. Okay.
60 to 70 billion is what she's looking at.
I don't know if that's enough.
And importantly, 25 years of marriage predates him founding Amazon. Yeah. So she was there for the entire run-up. Yeah. Let me just finish this.
Excuse me.
Shakespearean statement.
Don't mean to interrupt you. Go on.
We've had such a great life together as a married couple. We also see wonderful futures ahead as parents, friends, partners in ventures and projects, and as individuals pursuing ventures and adventures. Oh, my God. Though the labels might be different, we remain a family, and we remain cherished friends, Jeff and Mackenzie. Gosh, I wish I was on their Christmas card list. This is just so gorgeous. This wonderful prose.
Oh, now Lauren Sanchez has a son from her first marriage to former NFL player Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah, I'd marry Tony Gonzalez.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
It's Dr. David Kolbaba. It's our winter survival kit for this cold and flu season. It's power-packed with natural ingredients, and unlike the flu shot, it's safe and effective. First, it's our Sunny C 1000. It's highly absorbable, and it does not suppress your body's natural killer cells like most other vitamin C supplements do. And when you purchase your first bottle of our Sunny C 1000, I promise to include scientific data to back it up. And I'll also include a vitamin C dosage chart for you to customize how much is best for you, whether you're fighting off a cold or flu or you want a preventative dose to keep you from getting a cold or flu. Sunny C 1000. It's easy on the stomach, and it's essential essential in fighting illness. And when you order your Sunny C1000 today, be sure to get more information on the rest of our winter survival kit. Call 800-794-1855. It's our Health Quest Radio hotline. And be sure to listen to Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11. But for now, that number again, 800-794-1855.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 4343 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 4343. Enjoy!
If you're not pleased with your child's progress this school year, now's the time to consider enrolling your son or daughter in St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. With an ongoing enrollment program, it's never too late. For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men and is now an excellent co-ed environment. Not a school for troubled kids, but one that will prepare young men and women for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership with a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distractions that's conducive to successful learning. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual, and character development, athletics, and their military traditions. Find out more about St. John's Northwestern Military Academy ongoing enrollment. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
Tell you what,
I figured it out. Oh, yeah.
I bet Trump renews his subscription to the National Enquirer after this story on Bezos. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah. That's a lot. Who are their divorce attorneys?
I don't know.
Maybe they'll go through mediation. You know what? They actually should if they're smart.
Look,
because the lawyers will take them. The lawyers will make them hate each other by the time it's all over. Trust me.
I don't think the loving exploration should ever end. I think you should always be in a state of loving exploration, like the Bezoses.
Yeah.
I think it's sweet. We'll see.
It's the cheesiest statement I've ever heard, but okay.
Here's another story, sort of in the same topic area, but a little bit significantly, I would say, more creepy because it involves felony conduct. Remember the story we told you about over the summer? Nick Sauer, the former state rep from Barrington? Well, he was former after this story broke. Another one of
revenge porn, right?
The Illinois Republican Party's rising stars, according to the Surrender Republican establishment. This is one of Jim Durkin's little boys over at the House Republican Caucus, that super minority. Bruce Rauner. Great eye for talent.
He was an up-and-coming star, I heard.
From them.
Yeah.
Not from people who actually know what they're talking about, like, say, me. State Representative Nick Sauer indicted by a Lake County grand jury yesterday. 12-count felony indictment is alleging non-consensual dissemination of private sexual images. 2 victims. This is sort of a development. 2 unnamed victims.
Just his ex-girlfriend, he did revenge porn. He set up some Instagram account or something and posted her pictures naked without her consent.
Well,
bad boy.
Again, Lake County State's attorney identifies 2 unidentified victims as part of their case. 12-count indictment, all class 4 felonies. Each felony count punishable by up to 3 years in prison.
Ooh.
I mean, this is serious.
Oh, yeah. He's looking at some serious time.
This is Mike Nierheim is the Lake County State's attorney. On Wednesday, Melinda Bush, she co-chairs the sexual harassment task force.
Oh.
To train state legislators
To keep their hands to themselves?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, disgusting, unacceptable, criminal, blah blah blah. Yeah, how about that though? How about that? And I'm still waiting for the Me Too reckoning to come to Springfield, to come to state government in Illinois. I mean, the upper reaches of the most powerful politician in the state's office, that would be Mike Madigan, having his chief of staff resign, having a couple of his top political henchmen have to be removed. And there's really not a reckoning. I mean, this one was easy, thanks to victims coming forward, which they should, and also because this is so colossally stupid and disgusting. And
the evidence is right there.
It's online. I mean,
not a lot of investigation going on.
Well, although it took 6 months. Yeah.
Well, he resigned in August, right? You mentioned right after the allegations came out.
Yeah, it was over the summer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nierheim contacted in July by the Legislative Inspector General. Second victim surfaced as his office Special Investigations Division and Cyber Division investigated.
So I didn't know there was a second victim.
Now you do. That's why we have investigations, to get all of the facts and then make your case and prosecute it. Just another sad commentary on the Illinois Republican Party. And let me just make one statement for consideration about the Illinois Republican Party. If you believe in like a two-party system in the state, which I know most voters in the state do not, and that's fine. A lot of Republicans in office don't, apparently, either, the way they conduct themselves. There can be and will be no rebirth without a reckoning. That's just axiomatic. In life, think about just even like people with personal addictions. Until there is a reckoning, there can be no rebirth. And that goes for the Illinois Republican Party. Until they can police themselves, until they can stand for something, until they can hold fast to the commitments they make to their constituents, there will be no rebirth. This state will, forget go the way of California. This state will go the way of Caracas.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the third time was not a charm in D.C. yesterday.
And the shutdown, shakedown stories from the D.C. press corps are getting more desperate.
And later, what to do with a Chicago man who decided to walk his dog while he was driving his car. You'll wait till you hear this story. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
14 degrees. Prosecutors in Georgia and Illinois may file charges today against R&B singer R. Kelly following Lifetime's docuseries Surviving R. Kelly. Federal workers are planning a rally outside the White House today on day 20 of the partial government shutdown.
That's just the 800,000 of us who work. How many wives, husbands, spouses, partners, children, parents, how many more people are associated with that 800,000 employees?
Joe Zimmerman is one of those federal workers impacted. Vice President Mike Pence says President Trump has made it clear there will be no deal to end the partial government shutdown without border security.
Democratic leaders are unwilling to even negotiate to resolve this partial government shutdown or address the crisis at our southern border.
Pence does confirm that the president walked out abruptly from a White House meeting with Republicans and Democrats and only did so after Democrats again refused to budge on funding the border wall project. A bomb-laden drone flown by Yemen's Houthi rebels flew into a military parade today outside of the southern port city of Aden, killing 6 troops from the Saudi-led coalition. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has reportedly told the leader of his only major ally, China, he wants to achieve results on the nuclear standoff on the Korean peninsula during a second summit with President Donald Trump. Toyota is recalling 1.7 million more vehicles in the U.S. and in Canada because of possible deadly airbag inflators impacting Lexus and Toyota models built between 2010 and 17. Bit of a political surprise in Iowa this morning. A 3-term Iowa state senator says he plans to challenge longtime U.S. Representative Steve King in next year's Republican primary. Randy Feenstra is an assistant Republican legislative leader, announcing he intends to run for the Northwest Iowa seat and is open to federal campaign committee. Chicago Alderman Ricardo Munoz is in rehab After being charged with domestic battery in an incident involving his wife on New Year's Eve, Munoz has checked himself into a rehab facility in Indiana. The most powerful Democrat in the state is getting 2 more years at the top. Dems in Springfield yesterday once again electing Mike Madigan Speaker of the Illinois House. Bears losing defensive coordinator Vic Fangio to the Broncos, who have hired him as their new head coach. Nashville, a 4-3 win over the Blackhawks at the UC. Blazers over the Bulls, 124-112 last night in Portland. Big Ten hoops, Northwestern lost to Iowa, 73-63. 5:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is struggling with the new left.
Anderson Cooper last night sat down with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It's infuriating to hear this young woman talk about people not paying their fair share. And I'm not saying this to be a jerk. I promise. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You know who hasn't paid her fair share? Her.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
If you're serious about improving your home, why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Oakbrook Home and Garden Show, January 19th and 20th at the Drury Lane Theater and Event Center. Come see hundreds of the latest home products and services for thousands of the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home. Speak with local and national experts who are eager to help you find the best solution for all your home improvement needs. You'll find everything for your home, from the ultimate in-outdoor furniture to the latest and greatest home appliances. And don't miss one of the many free, informative seminars running throughout the weekend, including expert advice on the latest in kitchen design presented by award-winning Normandy Remodeling. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find all at the Home and Garden Show, January 19th and 20th at Drury Lane, just north of the Oakbrook Shopping Center, with free admission and free valet parking. For more details, please visit oakbrookhomeshow.com. That's oakbrookhomeshow.com.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours right into your basement. This is Gus from Chicagoland Waterproofing. My mission is to identify why your home is taking on water and fix it. I want you to sleep at night during a rainstorm and not worry about your basement filling up with water. Like our client Kim from Mount Prospect.
We had chronic basement flooding and no one could figure out why. During a huge storm, water was pouring in through the window wells of our finished basement and we had to bail out 6 inches of water. We got a bunch of estimates, but Gus's was the most reasonable, plus he knew exactly what the problem was. He put in a full basement drain tile system and an additional sub pump with a backup battery. Chicagoland Waterproofing gave us peace of mind. I like to say, in Gus we trust.
From simple sump pumps to complex storm drainage and crack foundation solutions, Chicagoland Waterproofing's work comes with a lifetime warranty. Plus, a fully licensed plumber is always on staff. Request your estimate today at ChicagolandWaterproofingPros.com or call 847-296-3500.
5:38. Let's get a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Roads are in pretty good shape so far this morning. We see no delays at all on the Edens Expressway at this hour. The Kennedy looks good too. Reversible lanes are open on the inbound side. No delays yet on the Eisenhower. Mount Stevenson, finding a little bit of congestion between Pulaski and Kedzie. Inbound Ryan, traffic starting to bunch up a bit approaching downtown. Right now it's no more than a 1 or 2 minute delay. Outbound on the Ryan, there's construction from 87th split. 3 right lanes are closed till 6 this morning. I-57's okay. Bishop Ford, a little tight. 103rd of the merge, and just a 1 or 2 minute delay at this time. There's road work on I-65 at 231 in Crown Point southbound. The right lane is closed till 7. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny, not quite as cold. High 29 today, 14 right now. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. The shutdown, shakedown stories. They persuasive? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Rally in downtown Philly. Furloughed government workers joined by 4 Democrat members of Congress fighting for my job. One worker told Yahoo News.
Was Cody Parkey?
Not in Philly. Cody Parkey, not present. I'm aware.
But they offered him a key to the city, I thought.
Yeah. All of the public sector union bosses were there. National Treasury Employees Union telling CNBC they're scared. They don't know how they're going to put food on the table.
Well, speaking of food, there's no FDA inspectors overseeing our food supply right now.
Yeah, okay.
Secret Service agents who are protecting the president won't get paid tomorrow. 14,000 air traffic controllers. Border Patrol agents, EPA, TSA, blah, blah, the list goes on and on.
Oh, yeah. The shutdown, shakedown stories. The anecdotes about TSA agents who aren't showing up for work. They're calling in sick. They're quitting. Quitting!
Yeah, that's what they said last night on Nightly News. They're walking off the job because they make about, $50,000 a year. And they live paycheck to paycheck. Just like our guy, Jeremiah Martinez, who works for the National Park System, has 3 kids.
The feeling of uncertainty is hard because you have to be strong for your kids. It's tough to wake up and have your wife reassure you that everything's going to be all right.
And yesterday they brought out all the ladies. So we have an IRS agent, TSA, and a federal corrections officer.
We are deferring payments where we can. We are boning everything back to the bare necessities to try and make it through.
I am a single mom. My son just graduated his first 2 years of college. He's going back. I'm not getting paid. I just bought a house. I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage.
You have the stress of I'm not getting paid, I'm not getting a paycheck, and you have inmates who, just want to tease and mess with the officer so it can make it a more dangerous place. So for the safety and security, that puts that at risk.
I do feel bad for these women, for that man. But when they take a government job, in any job, you should always plan ahead. You should always have 3 months of rent or mortgage saved up in case of emergencies, in case you lose your job. And that's my PSA for today.
Does anybody... is anybody persuaded by these stories? Today's date is January, 10th?
10th, yeah.
So a lot of people off for the holidays.
They were.
Got back maybe towards the end of last week after New Year's. And we're a week removed from that. And
true, but a lot of holiday bills are coming in. Christmas or credit card bills from Christmas time. People bought gifts during that time. They want to pay their bills. But they can wait on that. It's just the people who have to pay their rent and their mortgage who I'm worried about. Because I used to live paycheck to paycheck. I lived paycheck to paycheck for years. And I feel for these people. But do you think they're being used as political pawns?
I'm baffled by this conversation. I am offended by the D.C. Press Corps reporting. They are reporting on federal government workers temporarily furloughed like they're being sent to Normandy. This is obscene. It's offensive. Oh, a TSA agent? Look, everybody should get paid for the work they do. Government should keep its promises, just like anybody else, contractual obligations. All of those stipulations that I've made before. I've worked for government. I don't have any antipathy towards anybody in a government job. Okay? This has nothing to do with it. This has to do with the sense of entitlement. The idea that anyone gets a guarantee in this life. And let me tell you something. The guarantees that federal employees get are a lot more than those not in the private sector. And the D.C. press corps reporting is so dishonest. So dishonest. Let me give you an example.
Please.
Conflating the private and public sector. 80% of American workers, nearly 80%, 78%, say they're living paycheck to paycheck, according to a 2017 report by employment website CareerBuilder. Yeah. So nearly 4 in 5 Americans say they're living paycheck to paycheck. So when terrible public policy forces a business to relocate out of Illinois, do you hear the Chicago press corps picking up the stories of people who've been who either have to choose to be dislocated if they're allowed to follow their job to another state or country, or they're not given that opportunity altogether? Do you hear their stories? How many anecdotes do we hear about terrible, punitive, predatory government policy ruining people's lives, negatively impacting people's lives, causing job loss, causing an inability to pay bills? We just had a story this week, and to their credit, WBEZ reported it, but they're very narrow in their reporting. It's only this sort of reporting. It's not predatory government writ large, and it's certainly not predatory government that targets middle-income families trying to climb the rungs of the economic ladder in the private sector. But the story in BEZ, 50,000 cars in the last 7 years seized by the city of Chicago and sold out from underneath the owners because of confiscatory tickets, $200 for not having your city sticker. And then how quickly those tickets multiply if people can't pay, or you get booted, can't pay, and then your car sold out from underneath you. And, of course, it disproportionately negatively impacts minority families and poor neighborhoods in Chicago. So good. That's a good example. But the examples are legion, particularly in a place like this. And I would say with respect to the federal government's conduct as well. The seizure or the pollution of somebody's property. Think of the Gold Sky mine in Colorado that the EPA blew up a couple of years ago. Oh, yeah. The drugs that the wonderful FDA doesn't allow to market, or it takes interminably long because of the bureaucracy that could have improved, if not saved lives, if the FDA was a little bit more streamlined, for example. We'll go on and on and on about the regulatory state, about the imperious state at the local, the state, the federal level. And I'm going to have to endure and be shamed by somebody who's on the cusp of missing one paycheck that they're going to get.
Yeah, they'll be back pay. But for some people, and Nancy Pelosi said, a lot of people can't ask daddy for money. That's exactly what she said. And I thought,
whatever. Yeah, or hubby.
Or hubby, yeah.
I mean, this is somebody who says that coming from a machine political family in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Yes, that's right. There are a lot of multi-generation wealthy families whose scions are in politics on both sides. How about the Kennedys? But you can play that game a lot of different ways. The issue is public policy and impact, and only one side of the story is told. 20 days in, and the world is coming to an end because 800,000 workers are on the cusp of, well, half of them are sort of furloughed, not going to work, not being paid, and the other half are working and on the cusp of missing their first paycheck. 20 days. What a hardy people we are. It's so dishonest. I'm not going to sit here. Yes, I want everybody to get paid. I want everybody to maximize their earnings. I feel bad when somebody's displaced from their job, whether it's the private sector or public sector. I want everybody to be able to take care of their families. All of those stipulations, okay? But I'm not going to be shamed by these people tweeting. Let me give you an example. I'm not on strike. I was furloughed against my will. I'm against spending taxpayer money on a wall. I'm not on strike demanding a wall. I would very much like to go back to work. Yeah, well, guess what? These public policy debates and the decisions that are made by our duly elected leaders, they impact everybody. Oh, now I'm impacted. financially. So now I'm going to weigh in and rattle cages. I deserve, as Milton Friedman famously said, who deserves what? Be careful you don't get what you deserve. Or we're lucky we don't get what we deserve. By the way, L.A., they're supposed to go on strike as soon as today, L.A. teachers.
Oh, that's right.
Now, is that a strike or is that a government shutdown? Going back to the reporting. Are the L.A. teachers shutting down the government, the school district, that's government, in L.A.? Or is that a noble strike? It's the same thing we have here, whether it's in Geneva or anywhere else. Alina in Lake Villa, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I love your show. And I wanted to say that it's federal and government employees, they always feel entitled. They feel superior because they have all these benefits and guaranteed pay. Welcome to our life, the private sector employees who don't have any guarantees besides go to work, do your job, and maybe you're going to get an increase in your salary. Not every year. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, welcome to, it's not even the real world. Oh, and by the way, those TSA agents that want to quit?
Yeah, some of them already have, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So
they're walking away from their $50,000 a year job.
So the indispensable TSA agent who asked me if I have any liquids in my luggage, and the other indispensable TSA agent who just places my shoes on the conveyor just so, they're going to be gone? Oh, heavens, whatever are we going to do? Is flying going to be safe? Give me a break.
A scare in the air is a headline that I saw this
Exactly.
morning. I'm not kidding.
This is the kind of dishonesty I'm talking about.
They're great agents. They do a good job, and people will be working. We'll be fine. We'll be safe.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Well, the president, and they asked too this morning because Secret Service agents who are protecting the president are not getting paid. Will they be doing their
Give
jobs?
me a break. TSA, when they're fully staffed, what's your impression of TSA? Do you think that's the great first line of defense? Do you think...
Depends on what airport I'm at.
If there was an incident, I want to have these people's back, and I'm glad they've got mine. Is that what you think? Does anybody think that with TSA?
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
I mean, have you been to an airport recently?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what do you think?
Well, sometimes they seem a little lazy, all right. Other times they seem on it, quick, sharp, move it through. I have TSA pre-check, so you expect a little more because you pay hundreds of dollars to have that. And you get a background check, you get fingerprinted, you get interviewed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then other times, they're talking.
It's
not
like
focusing on the bags that are going through the conveyor belt.
It's like a lot of public sector union shops. Yeah, you see it. You got some people hustling that are on the stick, and you got a lot of people who aren't. And it's obvious.
And then they're standing around. They're supposed to check your bag, and they're just standing there talking. And then you ask, can somebody help me, please? Somebody will be with you in a moment, ma'am.
Well, yeah, we're busy shaking down a toddler right now. Making sure she doesn't have gunpowder on her fingertips.
Yeah, or just standing there. It's so annoying.
Mike in Janesville.
Yeah, what they're not telling a lot of people, if you go on most of the major banks' web pages, right on Bank of America, it's right on the front page, they're offering interest-free loans for the people that are furloughed.
Wow.
I mean, honestly.
There's a restaurant in Chicago that's giving free meals to government employees who are furloughed.
Government-centric society. Thanks for the call, Mike. Government-centric society, it doesn't end well. And it's not only the politicians that are the ruling class, it's their functionaries. It's that fourth branch of government, the agencies, the agency apparatchiks. I hope people are waking up to this, if you weren't aware of it previously. Joanne at Midway.
Hi. I'm just so... Oh, good morning, Dan and Amy. I'm just so upset about this because I am tired of hearing everybody's sad stories. So many of us live paycheck to paycheck. And you know what? They live beyond their means. All they have to do is call their banks. They could call their credit card companies. And if they've been paying their bills, so you get a late fee once. If you then keep on paying your bills on time, your credit rating isn't destroyed. And these boo-hoo people, I've worked for the government for 32 years and I'm sick of this. Well, why the hell did you stay for 32 years? The lady who worked for 26 years, why the heck did you stay?
Right.
You've been in a shutdown before. Just get over it. Quit ordering your Dunkin' Donuts every morning. Quit going out and buying your pizzas every week. Maybe you'll learn how to make stuff from scratch at home.
Thanks for the call, Joanne. Yeah, how resilient are our federal employees? Some of at least the ones that are openly decrying the end of times. That's sort of frightening, too. They're in positions of authority. Also, Lou Holtz's wisdom on complaining about your problems. Don't complain about your problems. 90% of people don't care, and the other 10% of people are glad you have them.
That's awesome.
Mike in Union.
Hey, good morning. Hey, just to use the words of that wise Nancy Pelosi, the one paycheck they're not getting, it's just crumbs. Don't worry about
it. Very good, Mike. Thank you.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The average smoker tries to quit up to 30 times, and many are looking for an alternative. Juul was designed by smokers, for smokers, to be a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Juul is a vapor product that contains nicotine for a satisfying transition. If you're one of the 34 million adults who smoke, know that there is an alternative to cigarettes. Make the switch at Juul.com. That's Juul.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Season's greetings from Stifel. My name is Ron Kruszewski, Chairman and CEO of Stifel Financial Corp., headquartered in St. Louis, Missouri. On behalf of nearly 8,000 Stifel associates across the globe, may the spirit of the season warm you and your loved ones. My wish for our nation is to focus on the things that unite us. Let us be thankful for the many blessings that connect us to each other. We at Stifel wish you peace and prosperity in the new year. Season's greetings to you and yours from Stifel.
Don't miss Dr. Duke Pesta, one of America's foremost authorities on the dangers of Common Core education. Hosted by Kingswood Academy in Darien on Friday evening, January 25th at 6:30. Dr. Pesta will reveal the chilling truth behind the Common Core national educational standards. You won't want to miss this special presentation exposing the real truths about Common Core. Register to hear Dr. Pesta at kingswoodacademy.org. That's kingswoodacademy.org.
Hi, I'm Glenn Papura, principal at Kingswood Academy. We're a Catholic grade school that uses a virtue-based curriculum. We believe in forming each child's intellect and character through classical literature, Latin, and logical reasoning, while also giving due attention to math and the sciences. In our morally sound and spiritually enriching environment, children learn to think for themselves and benefit from a low teacher-to-student ratio. I invite you to attend our open house on Sunday, January 27th. For more information, visit kingswoodacademy.org. That's kingswoodacademy.org.
I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
And if you're a small business owner or you make the marketing or advertising decisions for a business, then listen up.
Once again, our annual Food for the Poor campaign is underway to raise money for children suffering from poverty in Haiti. We've partnered with Food for the Poor to provide food and clean water to several thousand children this year.
And here's how your business can be a part of this. Become a Food for the Poor business benefactor. Just make a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor. And AM 560 will give you 40 60-second commercials to air here on AM 560 The Answer between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday at no additional cost to you.
That's the best advertising deal in all of Chicago. To take advantage of this deal, just call Anjanette Natowski at 847-472-8951. Again, that's 847-472-8951. One more time. 847-472-8951.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I thought I had a sinus headache for a few days, but I had a massive brain aneurysm, hemorrhage of the brain, and a stroke. And I was on my deathbed. I was on a respirator in a coma for 35 days. And 3 months later, I came home in a wheelchair. I had double vision. I had to learn to walk again, to speak again. 1 and 1 is 2, write the alphabet. You know, if I went out and did a little something, I'd come home, I'd be in bed. Now I'm up by like 5:30 in the morning, and I go to the gym. I do shopping. I cook. I have energy all day. I mean, I feel great. Overall, my whole outlook, just feeling, my mental aspect, everything is better.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
He'll go deep in the heart of Texas. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump will travel to McAllen at the Mexico border the day after another round of talks with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer over border wall funding went nowhere fast.
He asked Speaker Pelosi, will you agree to my wall? She said no. And he just got up and said, then we have nothing to discuss, and he just walked out.
The president then tweeted that the meeting was a total waste of time. Earlier in the day, he was asked about the partial government shutdown, now in day 20, and the 800,000 federal workers who won't get paychecks tomorrow.
They're all going to get the money, and I think they're going to be happy. And I will tell you, and I say it often, many of those people that you're talking about, so humanly the way you express it, but many of those people that you talk about are on my side.
Well, this partial shutdown goes beyond the paychecks. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, the shutdown could affect dinner tables across the country. The Food and Drug Administration has not been doing routine food inspections. Also, farmers hit hard by tariffs have no way to apply for government subsidies they were promised. Senator Chris Van Hollen, among Democrats supporting legislation reopening government agencies except the Homeland Security Department.
This is a senseless and unnecessary shutdown.
FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb says he may recall some furloughed workers as soon as next week so food inspections can resume. Dave.
Rachel, police officer shot dead in Shreveport, Louisiana, while off duty in a home as she was getting ready to go to work. A person is in custody for questioning. Another officer was shot and wounded in Raleigh, North Carolina last night trying to make an arrest.
That officer shot multiple times while trying to make an arrest at an apartment complex. 2 suspects in custody, including one who was just caught hiding in a shed.
Fox's Todd Pyro. The officer is out of surgery. Police are asking for prayers. This is Fox News.
Skies are cloudy. We have 14 degrees, and it is 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Prosecutors in Georgia and the state of Illinois may file charges today against R&B singer R. Kelly following a Lifetime docu-series. Here in Chicago, more women are coming forward with allegations of inappropriate conduct by Kelly. Cook County State's Attorney's Office says they have been contacted by at least 2 more potential victims.
I'm here today to encourage victims of sexual assault or domestic violence related to these allegations to please get in touch with our office.
Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox. Meantime, R. Kelly is facing a backlash in Chicago over those allegations. Protesters, spurred by some Chicago area radio stations, gathered last night around outside of the singer's West Side studio to call for a boycott of his music. Kelly may be booted from that studio space anyway, as the building's owner says he's owed about $80,000 in back rent. Chicago Alderman Ricardo Munoz is in rehab. He's checked himself into a facility in Indiana following a domestic battery incident involving his wife on New Year's Eve. The mother of a former Northwestern University basketball player, Jordan Hankins, is blaming a sorority for her daughter's death. Hankins' mother filed suit this week against Alpha Kappa Alpha, claiming her daughter was a victim of hazing by sorority members, which caused severe anxiety and then depression, leading to her suicide in 2017. Nashville over the Blackhawks, 4-3 at the UC. Blazers over the Bulls, 124-112 in Portland. College hoops, Northwestern lost to Iowa, 73-63. The news service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. If you're traveling for work, make your next stop La Quinta by Wyndham. Their spacious rooms and free high-speed internet makes it easy to work, while their comfortable beds and bright-side breakfasts make it easy to relax. Win at business wherever you go. Book at lq.com. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next. on AM 560.
When you're hiring, some job boards make you sort through tons of the wrong resumes, which makes finding a great candidate like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's not smart. Then there's the smart way at ZipRecruiter. Unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter finds great candidates for you. That's why you should try it now for free. Their powerful matching technology scans thousands of resumes to identify people with the right skills, education, and experience, and actively invites them to apply to your job. So you get qualified candidates fast. And while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds what you're looking for, the needle in the haystack.
ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. That's based on hiring sites on Trustpilot with over 1,000 reviews. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What does building a better bank look like? It starts with building Capital One cafes, warm, inviting places that feel nothing like a typical bank, where you can open an account with no fees or minimums in 5 minutes. And you'll always find people ready to help you, not sell you. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet?
For consumers only. Offered by Capital One and a member FDIC. Cafes available in select locations. Copyright 2018 Capital One.
What does building a better bank look like? It starts with building Capital One cafes, warm, inviting places that feel nothing like a typical bank, where you can open an account with no fees or minimums in 5 minutes. And you'll always find people ready to help you, not sell you. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet?
For consumers only. Offered by Capital One and a member FDIC. Cafes available in select locations. Copyright 2018 Capital One.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in Dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
Peloton is a game-changing indoor cycling bike that brings the energy of live studio classes right to your home anytime you want. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom.
It is 6:07, and let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Inbound Kennedy Expressway traffic is heavy from Austin to Foster. It's a 2 or 3 minute delay right now. The outbound side of the Kennedy is fine. No delays to report yet on the Edens. Van Nuys and Howard. Traffic hitting the brakes. Manheim to 17th Avenue, then Demon to the Burn Circle. 35 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Inbound Stevenson, Blaze, Parliament, Kedzie. You get 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 34. Inbound Ryan, 21 minutes, 95 to downtown, outbound 15. Roadwork wrapping up, 87 split. I-57, 16 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 421. Northbound Tri-State, little heavy at 290. The other tollways look good. No delays to report in Northwest Indiana. That's traffic. I'm Jim Alamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, partly sunny, not as cold, the high 29. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 21. More clouds than sun tomorrow, high 36. Clouds and some snow on Saturday, accumulating a coating to an inch, a high Saturday 35. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 14 at O'Hare. Next news at 6:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the lawyers of Kelleher and Buckley. Targeted legal advice for your business. KelleherandBuckley.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So Trump has this developing relationship with Pelosi and Pagliacci. It started with the public bickering in front of the D.C. press corps, which I enjoyed. Yeah. Then you had the competing speeches in primetime on Tuesday night. And now he's trying to soften them up with some hard candy.
Oh, that's right. It's just some candy.
They came over to the White House yesterday.
The president walked into the room, passed out candy. I don't recall him ever raising his voice or slamming his hand.
The president then turned to the speaker and politely asked her, okay, Nancy, if we open the government up in 30 days, could we have border security? She raised her hand and said, no, not at all. The president calmly said, I guess you're still not wanting to deal with the problem.
And then he left the room. Well, the Democrats said, oh, no, he slammed the table and he stormed out.
No. If you come bearing candy, that's not going to go that way.
It was Skittles and Jolly Ranchers and Kit Kats.
No, of course. I totally get this.
Wait.
The candy, the grandkids came over, and he had hard candy for them. You know how septuagenarians love hard candy. Every time me and my sister would go to my grandma's and my great aunt, they would have the candy bowl stocked with hard candy. You want a butterscotch?
Oh my
Have
gosh.
a butterscotch.
And then the peppermints, always. And Niles, when we'd go, the candy dish was full. And then those other mints that were white with the green inside. It wasn't hard candy, but you know what I'm talking about? We should bring those back. I haven't seen those since the 70s.
Those.
Those were the best. That's what Grandma Ruth had.
Those are better dinner mints than the Andes. I agree with you. I like those.
Yeah, I can find those.
But so
it started out nice, but there's two different interpretations of the same meeting. That's the problem.
Speaker Pelosi, will you agree to my wall? She said no. And he just got up and said, then we have nothing to discuss, and he just walked out. Again, we saw a temper tantrum.
Oh, a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't get his way, and he...
Yeah, and then Pagliacci broke out into tears, as is his wont. Here's the thing. I don't care. And nobody else does about this back and forth characterizing a meeting behind closed doors. He walked out. No progress was made, to no one's surprise. And I think President Trump, fine. If I'm being unreasonable, let's have our discussions back in front of the cameras. He's done it before, these roundtable discussions. Obviously, he did it with those two in front of the assembled press. Let's do it right out in the open. I got nothing to hide. You know what my position is, and you know what my defense for my position is. What's yours? You don't want to deal with, you call it, Nancy Pelosi called it on Tuesday night, humanitarian challenge. You don't want to deal with it.
Right.
You don't want to rip down the existing barriers, so you concede the point that barriers have some utility, but you don't want to add to those barriers, because why? You're for border security, and you're for removing people who have victimized other human beings and are in this country illegally, but your party wants to abolish ICE, and you want to abolish barriers. Square that circle for the American people. I'll sit back and listen.
Oh, I love what President Trump is doing. I'm glad that he walked out. He had to show that he has the upper hand. I mean, they have to compromise, and they're not even budging an inch. They are refusing to do it.
Well, here's what Trump reiterated while talking to the press before his meeting with... that
lasted 15 minutes.
The Wonder Twins, yeah.
Look, this is just common sense. They want to see it be done correctly. We need a barrier. We have to stop people from coming in the way they come in. And if we don't have it, you can never have border security unless you have a steel barrier, a concrete wall, you can call it whatever you want, but without it, you'll never have, you can have the greatest talent in the world. You will never, ever, in a million years, you will not have border security. Can't happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
8 Republicans yesterday broke with the president, though, on a bill to reopen the IRS and the Treasury Department. One of those, Lisa Murkowski.
The operations of the IRS and whether or not tax refunds go out don't have anything to do with border security.
whatever. I mean, a lot of things that the federal government does have nothing to do with other things the federal government does or other things the federal government doesn't do. There's all kinds of redundancies, disjointedness, irrelevancies, incompetence that we finance. Whatever. This is all just political posturing, and these are ancillary issues. If President Trump is smart on this, maintain laser-like focus. It's just common sense. Like he did in the speech on Tuesday night, the wealthy politicians don't have walls around their compounds because they hate people outside. It's because they love people, they love the people inside.
It was wonderful that he said that.
I don't hear...
Highlight of the night.
I don't hear the left saying that Mexico's barrier on their southern border with Guatemala is racist, is immoral, should be raised. I don't hear, or around the country. Around the world when you have such protections. And it's real simple. Physical infrastructure, personnel, and technology. The three prongs of border security. The president outlined the plan that was inspired by input from Border Patrol, from experts in this space, outlined it, all the details in his speech, and you just stick right there. Stick to the four corners of what you've been saying, because it is common sense. It strikes most Americans as common sense, according to all of the survey research. You've got the winning argument, so prosecute the winning argument. Prosecute the facts when they're with you. Trump continued, though, in his discussion with the media. So if there is no deal, what's the threshold for the other thing he suggested he could do, the invocation of his emergency powers?
I have the absolute right to do national emergency if I want.
What's your threshold for when you might make that?
My threshold will be if I can't make a deal with people that are unreasonable.
That's a fair threshold, I think. Jonathan Turley has a good op-ed in The Hill. Jonathan Turley, George Washington law professor, confirming what I believe to be true. Now, other well-regarded constitutional lawyers like David French doesn't think the president has this power with respect to a border wall. I think he's wrong. I'm much more persuaded by what Andy McCarthy and Jonathan Turley and even Adam Smith, the Democrat incoming House Armed Services Committee chairman, has to say about the president's authority here. Now, the other thing the president said, too, that was interesting in the press briefing before this meeting with the Wonder Twins.
I like the Wonder Twins.
Yeah.
Wonder Twins activate form of an iceberg. Remember that show?
Yeah.
What's that cartoon called?
The Super Friends,
Super
right?
Friends. Yeah. That's back when there was appointment television on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, we all convened at the Hall of Justice. Trump on the consequences if he walked from this, if he doesn't get this done. It's interesting what he had to say, sort of refreshingly honest about the political fallout.
There is tremendous support. Right now, if I did something that was foolish, like gave up on border security, the first ones that would hit me are my senators. They'd be angry at me. The second ones would be the House. And the third ones would be, frankly, my base and a lot of Republicans out there and a lot of Democrats that want to see border security. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good political analysis. Bill in LaSalle County.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Dan and Amy. Two things. Number one, and you're a lawyer, so you understand this. My son actually is a forecast meteorologist with the National Weather Service. Can't tell you what city because I don't need him to get in any bit of issues. But
Sure.
how can the government force people who are essential but not pay them? Isn't that against federal labor laws, or is that state to state?
Well, it's not state to state. Thanks for the call, Bill. It's a condition of employment, right?
Right.
So, so it's sort of, it's laid out at the outset that you have,
Possibility of
and I think it's embedded in the Civil Service Code.
that you could be furloughed at any point in time.
No,
or
the
be withheld a paycheck.
Well, the distinction between essential and non-essential workers for those designations as it pertains to an event like this. I'm fairly certain that's outlined there. But I mean, remember, if you don't like that, you have the option to walk away. You're not an indentured servant. Jim in Sheboygan. Hey, Jim.
Hey, so Lisa Murkowski makes perfect sense, her position. If you live in Alaska or you're there for more than a year, in the springtime you get a huge check from the government. And usually it's in the thousands of dollars, $2,000 to $3,000, and if you have kids, it's more. So I can see how she'd want the Treasury open because Alaskans love that check. That's all.
Thanks for the call, Jim. Bob in Waukegan.
Yeah, I think President Trump should treat this like the unions treat the taxpayers when it's time for the teachers to have money. They walk out and they don't do a thing until they get a 3% raise or a 5% raise, and they're not going back until they get something. So President Trump should just say, you know what, I'm representing the union of the American people, and the government is trying to fleece them out of they're being kept safe, and we're not gonna come back to work. We're not gonna let you come back to work until the wall is being put up, and we don't care about how many people we hurt in the government, because government employees, not all of them, but most of them make 3 times what I make. So if they'd have been smart and put some of their money in the bank, they could live for years and years, because illegals are not taking their jobs. Illegals are taking Americans' jobs, because you can't get a government job if you're an illegal.
Thanks for the call, Bob. Tom in Oswego.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I think it just boils down to one simple thing. The Democrats don't want Trump to get the wall because it may solve a problem. They don't want Trump to be able to solve any problems. That makes them look bad. And if he can solve a problem with immigration, what other problems can he solve? They don't want this wall for that reason.
Yeah, well, thanks for the call, Tom. I think that's a part of it. I mean, they certainly don't want to give Trump any political victories. You know, they want to continue to say he's all of the isms and he suffers from all the phobias, the identity politics piece of it, that he's unstable, and that also, importantly, he didn't deliver. That's the message the left needs to be able to deliver to middle income, blue collar, Trump voters in the Midwest. He didn't deliver for you. And this is one of his core deliverables, isn't it? Sean in Elmwood Park.
There's something to never forget about a government shutdown. They're not losing a penny. They simply have to wait
Deferred
for
income.
their money.
Yeah, right.
It's insanity to me. You're crying like 13-year-old girls. You know what? For the first time in your life, you fat sloths, you're forced to save some money. You're going to get a big check at the end of it, and you have the audacity to cry about your money. You couldn't live 5 minutes in the real world where I am working 14 and 16 hours a day with I have never had a paycheck, ever. It's insane to me to watch these people. You're not men or women of character. You're nothing but takers. And we are the givers. And we're the ones that make the world go around. You're useless. And I don't just mean in your 40-size pants at TSA with your Gaddafi costume on. You walking punchlines. Stay home and do everybody a favor.
Now, just a point of order, Sean. 14, 16 hours a day you're working. Are you including the 8 hours a day that you play computer golf as part of your workday?
Yeah.
That's only when I'm back home. But I have to tell you something, Prof. I'm down here. You know this. I'm down in Florida, right? And I've been hustling one particular deal. We walk in the property yesterday, and it's not what it was supposed to be. There was a change. And my guy looks at me and says, that's it, it's off. Now, here I am, a month's work, all the effort, back and forth like a chooch. And you know what I do? Because I represent him. It's off. I call up.
Yeah.
Now it's off. So now I got to put together another one. But that's what men do. That's what we do. Effort, and we work, and we struggle, and we worry. And you know what? At the end of the day, the government hands me a bill because I was so good at it. They're going to take the rest of it. So it's outrageous. And what this exposes is Kant's alternative universe, because the people who work in government live in a fantasy world They don't live in the real world, which is why they have that look on their face like they're bothered to do the very job they were hired for. And it's why they have contempt for us, the taxpayers. So let's expose it for what it is. They are the takers, and we are the givers, and they are the ones that extort us. You're extorting me. Declare an emergency, build the wall, and you will win handily in 2020.
Thanks, Sean.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey everyone, Carrie here. For years, you've heard my husband, Ken,
Hello, Radioland.
explain how Income Store is the place for your next revenue stream. Not to date ourselves, but Ken and I have been helping individuals and businesses grow their revenue since before the internet was even a thing. We've heard countless stories as to why people look to increase their revenue.
Some stories make us laugh, some make us cry.
These stories, combined with our own, have motivated Ken and I to dedicate our lives to help people, as Ken says, who need a revenue shot in the backside.
Whether you want to just learn how or simply put, you need to generate revenue today. Our mission is to serve both.
Our worldwide staff of over 150 help to create amazing resources, our most famous being the iTunes podcast.
Today's growth. You got to check out episode 383. It's truly amazing.
And both Inc. and Forbes have shared that when it comes to generating revenue, Income Store is a can't miss. To grow your revenue today, check out IncomeStore.com.
That's IncomeStore.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had cancer. I have fibromyalgia. I have nerve damage and fatigue. I have thalassemia. I'm hypoglycemic. So my life since cancer, I've had to learn how to live with it. But starting Balance of Nature, I felt that the first month I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
You're losing business to online companies. Competitors are using social media to rob you of sales. If your current website is 5 years behind the times or even one, contact us at Salem Surround. Digital marketing that surrounds potential customers with your message wherever they engage, search, surf, socialize, or review. We offer a free analysis of your digital marketing effectiveness and suggest methods that could dramatically increase bottom line. Salem Surround takes the mystery of digital marketing off your shoulders, letting you do what you do best. Run your business while we deliver customers. Is your business taking full advantage of digital communication to reach more people? Are your competitors ahead of you? Now, there are no limitations on where you can reach customers with Salem Surround. Total market penetration for increased ROI. Learn more by logging on to surroundchicago.com. Surroundchicago.com, connecting you with new customers.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Who can take a sunrise? With you.
Yeah. Speaking of syringes, I got a couple of syringes stories here. Starbucks, not just advancing. And by the way, Speaking of Candyman. Thanks to Glenn Perpa from Kingswood Academy and Darien.
Yes, he gave us both these beautiful boxes, and inside is a crystal candy bowl, which is perfect. We were just talking about the old candy dish on the table and chocolate-covered almonds that go inside the bowl.
He's like
So
our personal
thank you.
President Trump. Yeah, the chocolate-covered almonds are good, too.
And now we can negotiate.
Chocolate. All right, now get back to syringes.
Yes.
Starbucks race together. You know, your barista that educates you about race relations. All kinds of
How's
good
it
ideas.
going, remember?
Here's a good idea. More than 3,700 people have signed a petition on coworker.com calling for Starbucks to place needle disposal boxes in high-risk bathrooms. What's a high-risk bathroom? Starbucks...
That's disgusting.
Starbucks workers have reported finding blood and needles in bathrooms.
Ew.
As well as being pricked by improperly discarded needles, risking exposure to HIV and
Oh,
hepatitis.
yeah, hepatitis C.
Yeah.
You know what? That's because they let everyone use their bathroom now. No questions asked.
Another policy, yeah.
So how'd that policy turn out for them?
So you don't want to reverse that policy. You just want to encourage it, but you want the responsible intravenous drug
So they
user
want
to have a needle disposal, a syringe disposal box. What's wrong with that?
Slap a red box up against the wall in the bathroom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would also prevent stories like this out of Florida. Pinellas County deputies saying a man told them the syringes weren't his and he doesn't know how he got there.
What do you mean?
Wesley Scott, 40, had 3 syringes in his rectum that
Okay.
were identified by officers who were searching up in there in the Pinellas County Jail.
Gross.
Oh.
This is not a proctology exam. People, give me the syringe.
He was arrested on a warrant for a drug charge.
And he shoved it up his...
Again, he doesn't know how he got there. Could have been like date
he
night.
just... You know what? He probably just sat down on it. It
Could've-
was an accident.
Could have been date night with Kevin Spacey.
Hey.
Oh no,
Kevin
Is that-
Spacey didn't do it.
Is that too soon?
Yeah.
See, if you would have had the needle disposal boxes at the
Oh.
local Starbucks,
Then
he
this
wouldn't have
wouldn't
had to use the rectum. He could have used the.
The disposal box. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I was an inaugural member of Whitey's for Willie 4 years ago, and I'm still weighing Willie Wilson's candidacy for mayor in 2019. He'll join us to discuss it at 6:36.
And later, you have to hear this story. A Chicago man charged with animal cruelty decided to take his dog for a walk while he was driving his car. You'll hear from the lady who captured the video that went viral. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
14 degrees this morning. Prosecutors in Georgia and Illinois may file charges today against R&B singer R. Kelly following a Lifetime docu-series. Meantime, R. Kelly facing backlash here in Chicago over those abuse allegations featured in the series. Protesters, spurred by some Chicago area radio stations, gathered last night out of the R&B singer's West Side studio. Call for his boycott and a boycott of his music. Kelly may be booted from that studio space as well, as the building owner says he's owed $80,000 in back rent. 2 suspects are under arrest this morning, connected to the shooting and critically wounding of a Raleigh, North Carolina police officer. The officer responding to a report of a suspicious vehicle thought to have been involved in a carjacking. A bomb-laden drone flown by Yemen's Houthi rebels flew into a military parade today outside of the southern port city of Aden, killing at least 6. And from a Saudi-led coalition and allies in a brazen attack, UN-brokered peace efforts to end the years-long war are failing in one of the Arab world's poorest nations. Chicago Alderman Ricardo Munoz is in rehab after being charged with domestic battery in an incident involving his wife on New Year's Eve. Munoz has checked himself into a facility in Indiana. An investigation is underway after a DePaul University student was kidnapped near the school's Northside campus and then robbed at gunpoint. He was driven to an abandoned house on the west side, his money taken, then released. The Bears are losing defensive coordinator Vic Fangio to the Broncos. Denver has hired him as their new head coach. And do not say you haven't been warned. If you haven't heard this song in your car for the last couple of weeks, you're going to hear it now. That song is number 32 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart this week. 21 million streams last week, 2 billion with a B views on YouTube. By the way, the song and accompanying dance have been around for decades. It's a song about a family of sharks hunting for their next meal. Chicago sports. Nashville's Predators earn a 4-3 victory over the Blackhawks at the UC. Blazers over the Bulls, 124-112 in Portland. College hoops. Wildcats of Northwestern fell to Iowa. The news service of Peloton, live studio classes in the comfort of your own home. Whether it's a monthly challenge to meet your goals, a training program for your next race, or setting a new personal best, the Peloton bike will make you want to show up and keep climbing the live leaderboard year-round. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com. 6:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On Tuesday, January 29th, President Donald Trump will deliver his second State of the Union address to Congress, to the country, and to the world. And AM 560, The Answer, is throwing a party. And you're invited. It's a taste of freedom. A State of the Union viewing party presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. Enjoy dinner and drinks with fellow AM 560 listeners as you watch the president's speech. Tickets start at just $64 and are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
And if you're a small business owner or you make the marketing or advertising decisions for a business, then listen up.
Once again, our annual Food for the Poor campaign is underway to raise money for children suffering from poverty in Haiti. We've partnered with Food for the Poor to provide food and clean water to several thousand children this year.
And here's how your business can be a part of this. Become a Food for the Poor business benefactor. Just make a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor, and AM 560 will give you 40 60-second commercials to air here on AM 560 The Answer between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday at no additional cost to you.
That's the best advertising deal in all of Chicago. To take advantage of this deal, just call Anjanette Natowski at 847-472-8951. Again, that's 847-472-8951. One more time, 847-472-8951.
When it's cold outside, you can dress for it. But when your furnace gives out, hey, a blanket fort can only do so much. So call your local 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. And that beats a bunch of blankets any day. Right now, cozy up to big savings on a complete heating system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
When weather hits, the right wiper blades make all the difference. That's when the Michelin Man is on your side, helping you see better and drive safer with new Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. Designed with exclusive SmartFlex technology or frameless beam design, Michelin blades flex to the curve of your windshield, giving you unparalleled, streak-free, long-lasting, all-season performance. So when the going gets tough, be ready with Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. It's a difference you can see. Available at Walmart, Pep Boys, Amazon, and other fine retailers.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
6:37. Check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
We're looking at a mess on the inbound Bishop Ford Freeway right now with delays from 8094 past 159th Street with multiple crashes reported in that area, and a number of vehicles are involved. Farther north, it's a little heavy. King Drive to the right. About 25 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Outbound 20, there's a collision at King Drive. 2 right lanes are blocked. So far, it's not really affecting 8094. And on I-57, tight Halstead to the merge, that's just a 2 or 3 minute delay. And Ryan runs 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Junction. Kennedy, 25 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower, 36 minutes, 390 to the Circle. And Stevenson, 44 minutes, 355 to the Drive. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, partly sunny, not as cold today. High near 29, 14 at O'Hare, 17 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, our continued series of Chicago mayoral candidates. Our discussions with them for your consideration if you live in Chicago.
And you're undecided, right? Or you're still shopping around, so to speak?
I'm
Speed dating?
Yeah. I'm like in Chicago party ant,
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say. But as I mentioned before the news, inaugural member of Whitey's for Willie.
That's right.
Back in 2015. And I'm still keeping Willie Wilson under consideration for 2019. Let me tell you something about Willie before we bring him on. He gets made fun of the way he talks. He's not exactly Churchillian. Let's just be honest.
That's rude.
Well, he does. He gets made fun of. We hear it. There is one successful entrepreneur in the field of 20 running for mayor. One. And his name is not Bill Daley. And it's certainly not, obviously, all these political hacks that have been in sinecures at the local and state level for decades. Mendoza, Preckwinkle.
Oh, she got sworn in yesterday. She had to take a day off of campaigning to go to Springfield to get sworn in for her other job.
Preckwinkle,
Ugh, Grady.
as we played here, doesn't even believe in entrepreneurship. She doesn't believe in self-employment. This is the rest of the field. Willie Wilson has grade school education, sharecropper in the Jim Crow South, made his way north, and made his fortune in Chicago. It is a great American story. And so you can make fun of the way that Willie Wilson talks and some of his phraseology. I mean, by the way, have you heard the Daley family talk?
D's, Dems, and Does?
I mean, seriously.
We're going to the Jewels?
But Willie Wilson's life, his life, regardless of what you think of him as a mayoral candidate, demands your respect. Because we don't have enough Willie Wilsons in this city and state, particularly want to stay, much less hold themselves out for public office. And with that, we're pleased to be joined again by Willie Wilson. Willie, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you all, both of you all. I appreciate the introduction and it's sincere in their heart, you know?
Yeah, well, I like you, and I respect what you've done with your life and what you're continuing to try and do. And frankly, the thing that you've made the most publicity over in this election cycle, the handing out money to churches to help people pay their bills, I like that too. You know what? It's my money. I could do what I want with it. If we had more politicians that had that attitude towards the electorate, we'd be in a better place.
Absolutely right. You know, people talk about me handing out cash. The reason why I hand out cash a lot is this way, because a lot of people on the street don't have IDs that they can go to the current change and cash a check, and that's because a lot of times they get out of jail, they don't have the money to buy IDs. And then on holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, I always go hang out with the needy and the people who need things. So they ask, well, why don't you buy them a turkey and stuff like that versus money? Well, they haven't thought about it. A lot of people don't have a stove to cook a turkey on.
Oh, wow. So what's the reaction that you've gotten from people that you've handed money to? Because we've seen the video, we heard from some of them, but are they going to support you? Is that even brought up? Do you mention anything like that?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't even think they vote. I've been doing it for the last 30-odd years. I never have brought it out until I got into politics. People brought it out on me. When they weren't saying nothing before I made the announcement running for mayor. I mean, we done it 6 months ago, and before that as well, the cameras were there rolling. Nobody said nothing. Last year, 2 years ago, nobody said anything. So, I'm not going to stop. I mean, because of the fact of it is that those people need food to eat. They're human beings. Some of them hit tough time. I've never have and never will ask anybody to vote for me on account of something that I do for them. I was put here to help those who cannot help me back, and that's what I do. I found my way in life. And by the way, for those who say I can't talk or this and that, I always tell them this here too. At least I signed in front of my check and they signed the back of theirs. You know?
Absolutely. Amen to all of the above. So let me ask you this: in the wake of the Ed Burke indictment last week, you and Paul Vallis sort of had the same position, which is, all these people that are connected to Ed Burke should either have the self-respect to get out of the race because they admit that they've been part of this cabal for the last half century or some fraction of it, or the voters should see them for what they are, which is more of the same. Just to develop your position on Burke and all of these candidates across the racial spectrum, male, female. How do you distinguish yourself from the field?
Well, listen, all of the other candidates that is running for mayor, somebody have given them money to run. I put in the last 4 or 5 months in my campaign over $1 million my own money. Wow. And I do that for a reason, because I'm not going to be bought by none of them. Yesterday, the union gave another $500,000, I believe, to Tony Prepwinkel.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to take money for anybody to dictate to me and tell me what to do. I'm running for the people. And I'm not running for a paycheck. I have a record that you can check back and see what I've done, while the other one talking about what they're going to do. So it's a big difference. The other thing is that I just simply, flat out don't want nothing for myself in this race. I just want the people, not all people, equality for all citizens of the city of Chicago and the 7-7 community, whether you're white, black, dream, it doesn't really matter. We're all human beings.
So, Willie, so how do we get there? How do we get to a better city that's not so segregated in a de facto sense, also in an economic opportunity sense? How do we get to that place? What would you do?
Well, as I said last time I ran for mayor, 2015, and I said when I ran for president, you take the casino, open that up, $1 billion probably a year. You start with that, and you start with legalizing and taxing marijuana, and then you do mag field, and then you manage the budget. Then you take those dollars as well to help pay for some of the policemen, the fire department, school teacher pension. You spent over $1 billion for just police corruption. You change all this by putting those resources back into those 8 communities who is depressed. So if you take $8 billion and put no hair, and you take $1 billion and put a sidewalk, why don't you take a couple billion of those dollars and put in those poor neighborhoods and create training and jobs and things of that nature?
What about cutting spending? Do you have any ideas for that?
How do I cut spending?
Cut spending, yeah.
Spending. Well, you manage a budget. I cut it through my company. I found myself in debt overnight because of the economy. $72 million in debt one year. I woke up one morning. $72 million in debt. I had to come out of there. It took me 2 or 3 years to come back out of there and get that paid off.
$72 million?
$72 million overnight. Wow. Economy went sour.
During the recession.
During the recession.
I'm the only person in this race that have business experience. You got to have business experience to run a city like Chicago. I am definitely pro-business. All right? You have to be pro-business in order to keep business here and create jobs. Yeah. Lower these taxes. Don't raise taxes on people that run them to Indiana or Texas or Arkansas, those places down there. We can do it in Chicago because you raise taxes, you run people out of the city. And there go your tax dollars. Yeah. You don't raise taxes 8 times and bag taxes, and I'll cut those red light cameras out, cut them bad taxes out, take 15% of the money that comes in, set aside in a trust to help those people who cannot afford to send their kid to college to get a free education. We would do those things. And last on this subject, I would put in place and I got a TV commercial on this too, as well as radio commercial spot. I would put in place an audit every 3 months of each department in the city of Chicago to keep people honest. These other people that are running for mayor right now, especially Prepwinkel and Mendoza and those other people in the Burke situation, those guys are crooks. They need to resign.
So just to be specific on the tax issue. So you got a lot of candidates talking about some form of property tax increase. Even Mendoza talking about like a graduated property tax system. You got commuter tax, LaSalle Street tax, city income tax. You're opposed to all of those tax increases or new taxes?
Well, absolutely. You can't raise taxes on people who cannot pay taxes. Who most people today in Chicago, a lot of them don't even own their own homes. While these people raising taxes and running people out of home, I'm taking hundreds of thousands of dollars going to them and help giving them money to pay their taxes while they rob people of their taxes. It's no good to raise taxes and run people out of the city. Lower taxes, keep the taxes where it's at. Don't raise taxes. Keep the people in the city. It don't work. Tax don't work. But here's the other thing. I was checking some of the payrolls from the for the city. A person made, a lot of them on there, you can check it for yourself, this record. Person made $100,000 a year on a city job, ended up getting total 200-some thousand, 300-some thousand overtime.
Right. Yeah. Right. The overtime play.
So
yeah.
That's a waste of money there, and all those things have got to go.
Let me ask you about another topic that I've asked other candidates on, because I just don't think it's getting the attention it deserves. The Chicago Tribune stories about the sexual abuse scandal and the cover-up of sexual abuse inside the Chicago public school system. How have you received that information that the Tribune has uncovered? What would you do about it?
You need an elected school board, and the elected school board will not allow that to happen because the elected school board represents each community in that which they serve in, the elected school board. And by doing that, they make the decision. Nobody would have kept some 10 years, if I understood it right. 10 years, those young ladies and young men have been sex abused. If you're an elected school board, they can watch out and understand, protect that. If you have a appointed school board, like this mayor have right now, and by the way, it's more than the mayor responsible for that. It'll fit the alderman as well because they go along with him what he say he'll do. And when somebody else in control of your kid and dictating what they say to do, they can hide it under the rug. As matter of fact, that should be thoroughly investigated, and people should be arrested for that. When you do wrong, you need to be investigated and arrested for your crime, that what you do.
Novel concept. All right, he's Willie Wilson. Willie, people can get more information on your candidacy by going to what website?
WillieWilsonForMayor.com. WillieWilsonForMayor.com. And Dan and Amy, we're going to win this race this time.
All right.
And I see your campaign signs all over the north side, so they're everywhere.
Well, that's encouraging.
On
That's an
Ashland,
encouraging
Irving,
sign.
Addison, it's great.
All right, he's Willie Wilson, named after the great Kansas City Royals center fielder. So if you're a baseball fan, you can remember him that way too. Willie, at least the name. Willie Wilson, WillieWilsonForMayor.com. Willie, thanks for joining us again. Good luck. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too.
You too. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Lou Dobbs. President Trump heading to the Mexican border today. Los Angeles teachers set to strike, and Maryland sued by Muslims for opposing boycotts of Israel. Those stories next.
If you could do something to protect your family with just 10 minutes effort, would you bother? If something should ever happen to you, that 10-minute effort could mean the difference between hardship and financial security for your loved ones. Life insurance is something most people don't like to think about. Too many people do nothing until it's too late. The reason? People expect it'll be a big hassle. Ethos changes all that. Ethos is modern life insurance for people who don't have the time for fine print, extra doctor's appointments, or hidden fees. Ethos is affordable. It only takes about 10 minutes to apply online, and you'll be taking the first step in ensuring your family has the help they need to maintain the life you're building for them, even if the unexpected happens. Ethos brings you choices that don't require an in-person meeting with an agent, and in most cases, there's no need for a doctor's appointment. Ethos, life insurance for the 21st century. Apply online in just 10 minutes. Get a free quote now at getethos.com. That's getethos.com. Getethos.com.
After a tense meeting with congressional leaders, including Nancy Pelosi, who refused to even discuss funding a border wall, President Trump is on his way to the Texas-Mexico border today. It's widely believed the president's patience with obstructionist Democrats in Congress is at an end and may declare the border crisis a national emergency. Without a last-minute breakthrough, 35,000 teachers in L.A. are set to walk out on strike today, sidelining 640,000 students. A Muslim organization suing the state of Maryland over an executive order that says state agencies there can't contract with businesses who choose to boycott Israel. The group CARE says the order hurts businesses that, in their words, oppose oppression of Palestinians. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Famous conservative quotes presented by Automated Systems.
Ronald Reagan once said, "The trouble with our liberal friends is not that they are ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so."
Manufacturing companies, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. Automated Systems is a software and systems integration company that specializes in companies that are required to meet FDA compliance requirements. Automated Systems will create a custom solution for your business that will make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. From Fortune 500 to startup, ASI delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit hireasi.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI, 844-HIRE-ASI, or online at hireasi.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie capsules contain 100% vine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind. And it is undeniably one of the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water, some a little higher, some a little lower. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to take out the water and air, leaving only whole food, which maintains 99.9% of its original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health. Make sense? To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code Chicago.
For more than 50 years, Mueller CPA, a certified public accounting and business advisory firm, has been serving clients in Chicagoland. Dave Nissen, Mueller's managing partner, is here to explain Mueller CPA's history, journey, and opportunity.
Thanks, Dan. Our firm was started by Al Mueller as a one-person CPA firm in 1968. Through growth and partnerships, Mueller CPA has blossomed from a regional firm to an organization that provides services worldwide. Mueller is a reflection of our years of listening and caring for our clients, and we would not be here today if it wasn't for our professionals and support personnel. We value the human side of our business and recognize it as being the most important element of our success. We are growing, we are hiring, and we welcome your interest in our firm.
If you are looking for your first opportunity or your forever career, join an award-winning team that cares about you. Visit the career page at MuellerCPA.com or call Dave directly at 630-524-5274.
Get up and go. It's Apple Vacations' great winter event. Explore beautiful tropical destinations at Iberostar Hotels and Resorts. From family-friendly to luxurious adults-only resorts, the vacation choices are endless with Iberostar Hotels and Resorts. 3 nights at Iberostar Bavaro start from only $9.99. Or make it 7 nights at Iberostar Paraíso del Mar starting from just $10.99. And with Apple Vacations, it's all included. Non-stop round-trip air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Carey Travel Express at 847-639-3300 or visit careytravelexpress.com to book your trip today. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select exclusive vacation flights from O'Hare and Frontier to Punta Cana starting February 18th or to Cancun starting February 26th. That include taxes and fees, including September 11th security fee. Some flights are operated by other airlines. Baggage charges apply. See applevacations.com. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need.
So why can't more things in life be customizable? Why can't I buy Neapolitan ice cream without strawberry? Can't I just have the chocolate and vanilla flavors I'm comfortable with? Do people even want a fruity ice cream flavor sandwiched right between the classics?
Go to LibertyMutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Oh, hey.
Hey, did you hear? My friend's company was the victim of an email impersonation attack.
It's a serious threat to every business.
What if cybercriminals target us and trick accounting into making a wire transfer?
Don't worry, we have Barracuda.
So we're secured?
Yeah. Barracuda uses artificial intelligence to detect and block spear phishing and account takeover attempts.
What a relief.
Don't become a victim. Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
What's happening? What does it mean? Why is it important? We've got the answer. AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
President Trump is getting ready to take a trip to Texas. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. He'll go to the border in the middle of his standoff with Democrats over funding a wall. Fox's Jared Halpern's live in McAllen.
Yeah, President Trump has described a humanitarian crisis here in the Rio Grande Valley, insisting a steel border wall is necessary to curb illegal border crossings that he says are bringing drugs, crime, and heartbreak.
We need a barrier to stop the human traffickers and the drug trade.
During his visit today, the president expected to meet with Border Patrol agents, local officials, and visit the Rio Grande, the river dividing Texas and Mexico. He's also hinted in recent weeks about the possibility of declaring a national emergency to jumpstart wall construction without congressional approval. Dave.
Jared, the president did meet again yesterday with Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
When Leader Pelosi said she didn't agree with the wall, he just walked out and said, "We have nothing to discuss." So he said it was a waste of his time.
Now, the standoff drags the partial government shutdown into day 20. Tomorrow, about 800,000 federal workers won't get paychecks, including Nora Brooks, a furloughed IRS worker in Philadelphia.
I don't even have a savings. I'm like 1 month out from having nothing.
Brooks told the Fox News Rundown podcast her sister's offered to help and she's filed for unemployment, but those benefits have to be paid back once the shutdown ends and workers get retroactive pay. Police in Raleigh, North Carolina keep asking for prayers after an officer was shot last night trying to make an arrest. He needed surgery and is reportedly critical. 2 suspects have been taken into custody and have just been charged. Another officer was shot and killed last night in Shreveport, Louisiana, while off duty getting ready to go to work.
One person is being detained right now for questioning. That person was present at the home when police arrived.
Shreveport Police Corporal Marcus Hines. This is Fox News.
Skies are cloudy, 14 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Prosecutors in Georgia and the state of Illinois may file charges today against R&B singer R. Kelly following a docu-series on the Lifetime channel. More women are coming forward here in Chicago with allegations of inappropriate conduct by R. Kelly. Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx called for any possible victims of the R&B musician to come forward. Meantime, Kelly is facing backlash spurred by some Chicago area radio stations. Gathered last night outside the R&B singer's West Side studio, there were boycotts and protests. Kelly may be booted from his studio space on the West Side as well. The building owner there says he's owed about $80,000 in back rent. Chicago Alderman Ricardo Munoz is in rehab after being charged with domestic battery in an incident involving his wife on New Year's Eve. Munoz checked himself into a facility in Indiana. An investigation is underway after a DePaul University student was kidnapped and robbed near the school's Northside campus. A trio driving a black vehicle pulled up on the man, drove him to an abandoned house where he was robbed and then released. The mother of a former Northwestern University basketball player, Jordan Hankins, is blaming a sorority for her daughter's death. Hankins' mother filed suit this week against Alpha Kappa Alpha, claiming her daughter was a victim of hazing by sorority members, which caused severe anxiety and depression. that led to her suicide in 2017. Predators over the Blackhawks 4-3 at the UC last night. Blazers beat the Bulls in Portland 124-112. College hoops, Northwestern lost to Iowa. The news service of Geico Chicago. Hey, Chicago, Geico now has even more ways to save you money. Kevin, your local Geico agent, is ready to deliver the personal service you need with the savings you'll love. Stop by his local office on Cicero Avenue or call 773-582-8888 for Kevin, your local Geico agent. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
President Trump will deliver his second State of the Union address on Tuesday, January 29th. And to mark the occasion, AM 560, The Answer, is throwing a party. It's a taste of freedom, a State of the Union viewing party presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. Enjoy dinner and drinks as you watch the speech with fellow AM 560 listeners. Tickets are on sale now for just $64 at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
When you're hiring, some job boards make you sort through tons of the wrong resumes, which makes finding a great candidate like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's not smart. Then there's the smart way at ZipRecruiter. Unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter finds great candidates for you. That's why you should try it now for free. Their powerful matching technology scans thousands of resumes to identify people with the right skills, education, and experience, and actively invites them to apply to your job, so you get qualified candidates fast. And while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds what you're looking for, the needle in the haystack.
ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. That's based on hiring sites on Trustpilot with over 1,000 reviews. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm so pleased that many of you have joined AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. Let me give you a great story here. Say you take $16 to a retail location, let's say number 1, and they give you a golden magic bean. Then you carry that magic bean with you wherever you go. Somehow it magically saves you serious money wherever you go. Not only that, but retail location number 1 uses your original $16 to do good in the community. Would you do it? Who wouldn't want a magic bean? Well, welcome to the AMAC Senior Card. For just $16, your annual membership will instantly save you tremendously on restaurants, travel, the movies, health insurance, and way more. But just as important, unlike the AARP card, where your dollars support some pretty scary liberal agendas, your AMAC card supports conservative stances, pro-life, saving Medicare, sensible immigration reform. Go to www.amac.us and join today. amac.us or call 888-262-2006, 888-262-2006, and sign up and join AMAC if you're over 50 like I am today.
Morning traffic is here, and you can tackle it with P3 Portable Protein Pack. It's a more interesting way to get your protein with its combination of meat, cheese, and nuts. P3's high protein will help you make it through whatever you need to face during the day. Get your morning going with P3.
7:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
On Metro's Union Pacific West line, the train set to leave Elburn at 7:11 is canceled with mechanical problems. CTA has yellow line delays. Police activity, Dempster, Skokie, Edens, 21 minutes like Cook to Montrose outbound 20. Kennedy, 30 minutes O'Hare to downtown. A little heavier in the express lane, outbound 28 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, take 40 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 34. Stevenson, 46 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, I-80 to the Merge Bishop Ford, 30. There have been a couple of crashes, 159th at Sibley. On Tri-State side, Plainfield Road at Hinsdale Oasis and approaching 290. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Not as cold today. Partly sunny skies, though. High 29. It'll be partly cloudy tonight. Low 21. More clouds than sun around tomorrow. High 36. Clouds and snow on Saturday, accumulating up to an inch and a high 35. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
15 degrees at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. And Amy, just want to pass along a word I got yesterday.
What?
Went to the Northwestern Iowa game up in Evanston.
Oh, yeah, we beat you 73-63?
Neither one of us played, but yes, Iowa did win.
Yeah, we won.
And by the way, I suggest I wanted to go because I want to see what the new
the new arena.
Welsh Ryan. It's unbelievable, the makeover. It's really a nice venue now. It was a terrible fan experience before. It's good.
It was like a high school gym before.
And if I can recommend, you want to go see a Northwestern basketball game?
We're talking about Northwestern.
May I suggest, if I could, offer a recommendation for the Korean beef in the Wilson Club, which is the only place to see the game.
You sat in the Wilson Club?
Yeah. That's right.
You're such a snob.
2 rows in front of the great Doug Collins.
Really? Did he say hi to you? Hi, Dan.
No, I said hi, Dan. I said, big fan. Great to see you, Coach.
Oh, you're such
a
he's there.
Obviously, he's there to cheer on his kid. Yeah,
right.
Chris. Doug Collins, Illinois State's very own, #1 pick in the 1973 draft, 4-time All-Star, great perm in the 80s. I mean, Ditka gets all the credit for his perm.
Coach.
Doug Collins had a great 1980s perm.
And a bi-level perm at that.
And I think that's underappreciated about his career, the perm. And frankly, if he could have gotten along a little bit better with the front office, he'd have 6 rings. But I didn't say that to him.
No, you didn't say that to him.
All right.
But again, what was the final score?
Iowa won. But here's the thing. I was a mediocre team, too, so don't get too excited about Iowa this year in the Big Ten. Jeff Moe, though, did take me aside and he said, could you tell Amy I want my Letterman's jacket back?
Shh, that's her secret.
He also said, I couldn't believe back in the day she dumped me for a competitive eater. So I just wanted to pass along the word that I got from Jeff Moe.
He graduated
Iowa,
from
great.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we have to get back to serious topics. We can't just talk college basketball, Amy. And to help us with some sobriety is Mike Gallagher, our colleague. Mike Gallagher's host of the Mike Gallagher Show. Follows us at 9 a.m. Mike, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
Amy, did you notice he sat 2 rows in front of Doug Collins? He made sure to say that he didn't sit behind Doug Collins.
Exactly.
He sat and he had a better seat than Doug Collins because Dan, is the man with the plan. He gets into venues and he goes where he wants to go and he sits in the club and he just, he's the elite. He's
Mike,
part of the 1%.
Do you know Chance the Rapper retweeted one of his tweets?
Yeah.
Who doesn't know that? I've been talking about it for months. It's a big deal.
It's a lead. Mike, look, it's not important who sat 2 rows in front of whom, but yes, I was in front of him.
Yeah, I noticed you brought it. I noticed you mentioned. You didn't say you sat near Doug Collins. I've done that before. I'm like, I sat 4 rows in front of Steve Martin at that play. You
guys counted.
Don't make a big deal about it. Why are you making a big deal about it?
I'm just an observer.
Yeah.
All I heard, I'm listening to the show. I'm listening to Dan and Amy like I do every morning coming into work. And I've got you on the app, and I'm driving through town, and I'm saying, 2 rows in front of Doug Collins, eh? Okay.
Yeah, a big Broadway show star like you're driving it. You're being driven in.
No. I drive.
All right.
I used to Uber in, but I got so sick of the herky-jerky Uber drivers and trying to listen and read the paper and stuff. So now I can just kind of, I really do. I listen to you guys every single morning driving in here in Manhattan. It's a chilly 30 degrees. I'm looking up at your screen. It's 19 degrees in Chicago, so we're a little warmer than you are. But no, listen, you guys are great show prep. No, a lot of people notice. A lot of Dan and Amy listeners notice that I bring stuff up on my show that you've covered, and I just try to. You guys you raise the bar high. I just try to climb it.
All right, thanks, Mike Gallagher, sucking up to Amy like that. Golly. No, I mean I wanted to get all antagonistic with you, but you're going to be so nice. I can't feel guilty.
Why antagonistic?
I'm
What's
kidding.
there to be antagonistic about? We got a president who's fighting for Americans. We got a president who's finally showing Nancy Pelosi what it's like to have her meet her match. You got a president who's going to put a big spotlight on the border. We got news about 20 dead dead bodies found near the border, 17 of them burned. Mexican authorities discovering 20 bodies yesterday near the city of Nuevo Laredo, which of course is close to the U.S. border. Now we're getting reports of the number of sick kids soaring at the border, tuberculosis, flu, infections. They're referring, get this guys, 50 people a day for urgent medical care. You know, the fact that 2 kids died in American custody is awful, and your heart goes out to those children and their families, but I'm surprised there's not 2 a day, considering what we've got. We have, in the words of the Washington Post, we have an emergency. We've got a crisis. And the president is finally the first president in my lifetime who's come along who's trying to do something about it. And, you know.
But there's a problem. The problem is that he didn't bring enough candy for everyone when he had that meeting with the Wonder Twins, Pelosi and Pagliacci yesterday.
That was great optics, wasn't it, the other night? They looked good the other night on that behind that podium.
That was fantastic.
That was a really
Somebody
good
said
look.
they looked like they were embalmed.
I mean, it was like, listen, I go to Universal down in Florida. They have a haunted house. They have all those haunted houses. Pretty cool. And they need to do a Chuck and Nancy exhibit because it was that was a scary vision. Somebody somewhere on the Democrat side thought that was a good idea. And of course, Dan, you're right. You got both sides with their heels dug in. But look at the optics of what we have. We've got a president who's saying, look, we got a crisis. We want to do something about it. Democrats used to say we had a problem and wanted to do something about it. Now, because it's Trump, they don't want to. And look what's emerging. You know, Chuck and Nancy, the American Gothic portrait. You've got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez openly and literally saying that the illegals are more American than those Americans here who want law and order and want a secure border. You've got Democrat leadership doubling down like de Blasio in New York. I mean, you think Rahm Emanuel is a piece of work. How about de Blasio and his promise of comprehensive health care for illegals and poor people? So you got hundreds of thousands of people here in New York who are illegal immigrants who are going to get, I guess, mammograms and colonoscopies and mental health counseling. And, of course, he says free. Free means taxpayers. You know, $100 million, he said. Tucker Carlson, I had him on the show yesterday. He laughed. He said, yeah, I got a calculator on my iPhone. $100 million times, into 600,000, that's $160 a person. You think there's going to be health care provided to the tune of $160 per person? These guys don't make sense. They're insane. They are desperate. They've never run up against a buzzsaw like Trump. And I don't know about you, Dan and Amy, but I don't see Trump backing down one bit. I don't think he's going to back off of this.
Well, do you think he's going to, because he still holds a final card, and that's declaring a national emergency. If this goes on for another week or maybe, gosh, God forbid, a month, do you think he should say declare it's a national emergency?
Not only do I think he should, but I think he will. It is the final card he has to play. If Pelosi is dug in and Schumer is dug in that they're not going to give him a dime for they said they'd give him $1 for the border wall. You know what? That's all he can do. There's nothing else he can do. One thing I have to confess I don't like about the Republican side, and I noticed Hannity was doing this the other night on TV and a couple of other commentators. It's not really that big a deal for these hundreds of thousands of federal workers. Yeah, it is a big deal. It's a very big deal. We none of us should forget what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. And for people who are, these TSA workers make on average $30,000 a year. So it's not like these are wealthy people. We gotta keep them in mind and remember that this is a big deal to people who aren't going to get paid tomorrow.
No, I agree with that. However, one caveat to that. So absolutely empathy to people who are missing a paycheck, who lose their jobs. Private sector, public sector, doesn't matter. You want everybody to be successful, be able to support themselves, their family, all of that. So stipulated. However, the shutdown, shakedown stories from NPR and USA Today that the guy who places my shoes just so on the conveyor belt, quitting his job at TSA is the end of Western civilization is a little much for me.
Listen, don't think for 1 minute the Democrats care one whit about people who are not going to get their paycheck tomorrow. All of a sudden now, Democrats are acting like they have fiscal responsibility. Are you kidding me? This is a joke. The reason there's a shutdown is because they're dug in. Trump has made all kinds of concessions already. He's clearly willing willing to compromise. He's talked to, all right, you don't want cement, we'll do steel. You don't want a secure barrier, we'll do slats where you can see through it. I mean, he's twisting himself into a pretzel, quite frankly, to meet them halfway. He's a deal maker. He's used to that. He wants to win, and he will win, but he's willing to sit down at the table with them. When they say, no, we're not going to give you any support for a border wall, bye-bye, meeting's over, I'm taking my candy, and I'm going back to the Oval Office or I'm going back to the residence because you guys aren't willing to talk. And, whether the American people get that message or not, I don't know, but I do believe this president won't back down. Lindsey Graham is right when he says if the president loses this, he loses the presidency, and we're doomed. We're going to be in big trouble in 2020.
So do you think that, assuming the impasse stays in its current stasis, do you think that he pulls the trigger on his emergency powers and, risks the litigation that will come before his State of the Union address at month's end?
Perhaps. I mean, or he waits until the State of the Union. I mean, it's going to happen. You're right. They'll go judge shopping and they'll try to find a way to stop it. But I don't know the downside to declaring a national emergency. I mean, when you can point to the front page of the Washington Post as confirming it's a crisis, we have a border crisis. We 60,000 people, trying to get into this country, and we see the funerals, and the list is as long as your arm of people murdered and people killed and people raped and destroyed, lives upended by illegals who shouldn't be here. There are a lot of bad people that have come into this country, along with a lot of really good people who just want to work hard, and we get it. We understand that. This has never been about the good people. It's about the bad people, and we got bad people we're trying to stop. It's going to be interesting to see the Democrat how far to the left they tack, guys, because honestly, if the best you've got is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Beto Robert Francis O'Rourke, I like our chances. I mean, I really do. I mean, you go from two extremes. You got the Munsters with Chuck and Nancy and American Gothic on one end of the spectrum, and then you got these young upstarts who are so far to the left and so radical that they believe that illegals are more American than Americans, and they're proud to say that. So, I don't think they have much of a vision. I just read an article yesterday, incidentally, in New York Magazine about Bernie. Don't count Bernie Sanders out in 2020.
No,
we need another white hair. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of wrote him off, and then read this article that talks about how he's taking it very seriously, and he thinks that he's got a shot. Of course, they all do. There's going to be about 167 Democrats who are going to try to challenge President Trump in 2020. He's going to have his hands full.
Well, that's exactly why Bernie has a shot if he can be a proxy for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right?
Exactly, and he not only a proxy for her, but there's also some bad blood within that whole faction. Don't forget, he's not a Democrat. He's an independent socialist. He's a communist, but it's a conversation for another day. But there's all this infighting within the Democrats going on right now between moderates and how far to the left we should go, how institutional we should go, and don't think it's just the Republicans who have a headache right now. The Democrats have a big fat headache on their hands.
All right, you can hash this out with Mike Gallagher starting at 9 a.m. on his show.
I'm going to try to be 2 rows in front of Doug Collins.
There you go. That's the best seat in the house, Mike. That's where you want to be. Mike Gallagher.
And eat your Korean beef.
Thanks for joining us, Mike. Take care.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Attention maintenance coordinators. Fans are a vital part of your business's building or factory. You've got to keep the air moving. But when they break down or need service, who can you call? Vans Industrial repair all types of fans, from small wall fans to large air movers.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Fan repair is one of many services that Vans offers. If you have a fan with a damaged shaft, bearing, impeller, or housing, we can help. And if you need a new fan, we handle all major brands and can provide engineering assistance to properly size your new fan. Our crews can respond to your emergencies or routine maintenance and will have your fan back up and running fast. And when we're done repairing your fan, we can also dynamically balance it so it runs smooth for years to come.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND to get your fan repaired today. That's 833-VANS-IND, or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Hey, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men with an outstanding education in preparation for life. And now I'm sure you've heard that the same experience is available for your daughter. St. John's is an excellent co-ed environment. It's not a school for troubled kids. Oh, no, but one that will prepare them for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership. They have an impressive alumni list, including heads of state, key business leaders, professional athletes, accomplished artists. The list goes on and on. You know, the Academy is principally a boarding school for young men and women in grades 7 through 12, but they also have an active day program for those grades as well. I sent Peyton and Eli there for summer camp, and they are still talking about it to this day. The
they found their way back?
They did. You know what? They learned about respect a little bit more, respecting their elders.
Survival.
And what men have done for this country to protect their freedoms, really. It's a beautiful campus, too, 110 acres. And, Dan, just for you, they have a golf course as part of St. John's Academy. They have a great golf team, too, and lots of sports. It's really a cool campus. You got to see it. Again, I felt like I was on a set of a movie. Those cadets were impressive.
That's good.
Now I sound like a stalker.
Now you made it weird.
No, and then it got weird. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy, call them. They have ongoing enrollment, which means that there's always time to enroll your son or daughter. For more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
Oh, no colds, no flu, lots of energy, just overall well-being. It's just if I stop taking it, I see the difference. You know, I would never stop with these. I would keep them on hand always.
Well, I got more energy for sure. I don't feel the same if I don't take this every day. I think it's improved my life greatly because I was feeling real sluggish before, sluggish and tired. I had like this brain fog. It's all gone now. You know, I've been taking this stuff and I feel like I have the energy of an 18-year-old with the looks of a 30-year-old, and I'm 50. It's crazy. This stuff is crazy. I love it.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, all right, we've got this story, Cook County involving, here we go again, Cook County Forest Preserve Police.
Oh, yeah.
And
remember what I always say, if you want to kill somebody, do it and dump the body in a forest preserve in Cook County because it will never be solved.
That is what she always says.
Another PSA. I say that all the time.
So
this story piqued my interest because it involves the Cook County Forest Preserve Police.
And by the way, just as a corollary, Amy has also offered to help you bury that body, so you bury it properly in the forest preserve. So
use lime.
So you just call in, and she'll dispatch a crew.
All right, so this is what happened. I don't know if you saw this viral video. I told you about it this morning because we're all dog lovers, pretty much. And there's a 69-year-old man named Nelson Benitez, and he normally takes his German Shepherd, beautiful dog, for a walk. Well, he had too much to eat, he said, at lunchtime. So instead of walking the dog, he thought it was a good idea to drive his car while his dog was leashed and speed up so that the dog could run along the car. Well, people saw this and they were horrified because the dog didn't want to run that fast. And at times he was allegedly dragging the dog. And so one woman who she's come forward, but she doesn't want to use her name, took this video.
Stop your car!
She's running after him.
¡Paren el auto! ¡Paren!
She could use a
El
walk.
perro, mira cómo está el perro, para! Stop it! Look at him! Look at it! Stop it! Stop it! I'm calling. No puede caminar! No
So
puede
she's
caminar!
running after him, and another
He's
car
stopping
behind
you
him.
too.
The driver gets out
Stop
like,
it.
"What are you doing?
Stop it!"
So the dog, and then you see the dog immediately lay down. It's just so heartbreaking.
You don't see the dog walking next to the car either, jogging. You see him being pulled. It was so not pleasant to watch that it was enough for me to run after him.
And so the thing is that this dog owner, guess what? He gets to keep his dog. Cook County Forest Preserve Police went to his house yesterday and did an investigation, and they've determined that there's no additional threat to the animal and that everything's fine. The dog owner says that he's not a stupid man. He's not a bad man, and that he was simply following the directions of a dog trainer in a viral video.
You can clearly tell that the dog was also trying to lie down, trying to sit down. Many times it almost seemed like he was trying to pause and stop, but he wasn't being allowed to because the guy kept driving.
Well,
you can't treat animals like that. They're defensive and they rely on you 110%. If you have a dog, be responsible for it.
They can't rely on you more than 100%.
Oh, because there's
nothing more than 100%.
Well, here's the irony too: is this woman who took the video that again went viral. She was walking her German Shepherd at the time that he was walking his German Shepherd via a car. So if you see the video, it is just heartbreaking.
Are you sure it wasn't like sort of like Rocky, like he was,
he's
like Rocky
training
and
him?
Rocky 4? He's training him for.
He gave him 2 raw eggs before that to drink out of a glass,
Yeah.
and then decided to take him on a run. It is a beautiful German Shepherd.
Yeah.
He's got a nice coat.
It's a good
so
looking
you can
dog.
tell he's taken care of.
But he was he wasn't like he didn't Mitt Romney him. He didn't put him on the roof and then just speed away.
Don't you sully Mitt
He did. You can
you go
see
there.
that he's got the leash out at the driver's side window, and he's going at a slow pace with the leash outside. Now, here's the thing.
The
Of
dog's
course.
name is Dexter, by the way.
Okay.
We should go rescue Dexter. Who wants to meet me at 9 o'clock? You can go get him.
You could call that woman if she's caught her breath. Here's the thing. It's just real simple. He's an older man, right? So he can't keep up with the dog. He wants the dog to get out and get exercise. He can't run with the dog.
Right.
Like my dad, when he watched his dog, my dog's too much for my dad
Oh,
because
it's
he can't,
too high
can't
energy.
keep up with him, right? Thankfully, he didn't, drag him down Wilson Street and Wheaton in the car. But here's the thing. Get a dog walker. have a young kid, have somebody who can run with the dog, or be in an enclosed space. Go take him to a local tennis court and let him run around the tennis court or something.
Well, here, are you ready for this? So the Benitez told a reporter from the Sun-Times yesterday. Are you ready for
The
this?
Sun-Times has reporters?
When you take the dog very fast, the dog has a problem with its legs. That's why I would never go fast. I was going 5 miles an hour.
It's well within the speed limit.
And the Cook County Forest Preserve Police still don't do anything?
They're still trying to resolve that case from a few months ago of the
with the white guy yelling at the Puerto Rican woman?
and the Puerto Rican, yeah. And
It's happened in the same place, by the way.
all their resources are devoted to that case. That case will take a few years to clear up.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to get back to the shutdown and border security funding matter with Wisconsin Republican Sean Duffy. Should President Trump veto the legislation passed to keep the IRS up and running? We'll ask him at 7:37.
And later, emotional moments from Purdue superfan Tyler Trent's funeral. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
15 degrees. 7:31. Prosecutors in Georgia and the state of Illinois may file charges as soon as today against R&B singer R. Kelly following a docu-series on the Lifetime channel. More women are coming forward with allegations of inappropriate conduct. Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox called for any possible victims to come forward. Meantime, Kelly is facing a backlash over the abuse allegations featured in that series. Protesters, spurred by some Chicago area radio stations, gathered last night outside the singer's West Side studios to call for a boycott of his music and for him to be prosecuted. Democrat lawmakers and union members representing some federal workers are asking Senate Republicans to take up legislation to reopen the government. Furloughed EPA worker Joe Zimmerman.
That's just the 800,000 of us who work. How many wives, husbands, spouses, partners, children, parents, how many more people are associated with that 800,000 employees?
South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says he's confident that President Trump's nominee for Attorney General will allow Special Counsel Robert Mueller to finish his investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he believes Barr is too biased to earn his support.
Last month, we learned that Mr. Barr sent the Justice Department an unsolicited memo criticizing the special counsel's investigation. Mr. Rosenstein's potential departure only heightens the stakes for Mr. Barr's nomination.
Barr's confirmation hearings have been scheduled for next week. Shares in Kohl's are down this morning after a disappointing holiday sales report. The retailer says sales rose 1.2%, but that paled in comparison to 2017 results. Shares were sent tumbling over 6%. A former Illinois lawmaker is looking at a felony count after investigators say he shared his ex-girlfriend's naked pictures online. Lake County prosecutors filed the charges yesterday against Nick Sauer. The mother of a former Northwestern University basketball player, Jordan Hankins, is blaming a sorority for her daughter's death. Hankins' mother filed a lawsuit this week against Alpha Kappa Alpha, claiming her daughter was a victim of hazing by sorority members that caused severe anxiety and depression that led to her suicide. Nashville beat the Blackhawks last night at the UC 4-3. C.J. McCollum, 24, leading the Blazers to a victory over the Bulls in Portland, 124-112. The news, a service of Discover. Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Gina Labus, President and CEO of Mid-States Glass and Metal and a customer of Signature Bank since 2011. As we expanded our business into all aspects of the glass and metal industry, we needed a bank who could grow along with us. That's when we met Mick O'Rourke, co-founder of Signature Bank. Mick and his team took the time to understand the ebbs and flows of our business. They worked with us to find a solution that would support our growth. Mid-States Glass and Metal is proud to work with Signature Bank because they support Chicagoland women-owned businesses like mine.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
And if you're a small business owner or you make the marketing or advertising decisions for a business, then listen up.
Once again, our annual Food for the Poor campaign is underway to raise money for children suffering from poverty in Haiti. We've partnered with Food for the Poor to provide food and clean water to several thousand children this year.
And here's how your business can be a part of this. Become a Food for the Poor business benefactor. Just make a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor. And AM 560 will give you 40 60-second commercials to air here on AM 560 The Answer between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday at no additional cost to you.
That's the best advertising deal in all of Chicago. To take advantage of this deal, just call Anjanette Natowski at 847-472-8951. Again, that's 847-472-8951. One more time. 847-472-8951.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
It is 7:37. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Traffic is lighter than usual right now. The inbound Edens and the inbound Kennedy. The Edens has no delays at all inbound. Outbound, you're looking at a 5-minute delay from Montrose to Toohey. Inbound Kennedy, it's heavy from Montrose to the Burns Circle, which is 31 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 21 from Montrose, 20 in the Express. Outbound 30 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Inbound Eisenhower, 40 minutes, 390 to the Burns Circle. Outbound 33. Stevenson, 48 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 35. Ryan is 30 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, siding to the merge Bishop Ford 30, crashes near 159. Northbound Tri-State, it's slow from the Stevenson to Ogden and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The other tollways are still okay, Northwest Indiana as well. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny day ahead, not as cold, high 29. Partly cloudy and 21 overnight currently. We have 15. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560 The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So should President Trump be swayed by the siren song of the left? Just open the government. Just end the partial shutdown and we continue talking. He was asked about that at a press briefing before he met with the Wonder Twins, Pelosi and Pagliacci. And thankfully, Trump is a little bit more sagacious than the D.C. press corps. If he walks from border security, which is what preemptively ending the partial shutdown would signal, here's what happens.
There is tremendous support. Right now, if I did something that was foolish, like gave up on border security, the first ones that would hit me are my senators. They'd be angry at me. The second ones would be the House. And the third ones would be, frankly, my base and a lot of Republicans out there and a lot of Democrats that want to see border security. Okay,
so if you add up those component parts, that means he doesn't get reelected president, is what he's saying. And he's right. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Sean Duffy. He's a Republican congressman from north of the Cheddar Curtain,
Since we have
7th
none here in
Congressional in
Illinois.
Wisconsin. Yeah, we got a couple left.
We have a couple.
Bouncing around, downstate, not up in
Rodney
Chicago
Davis,
Metro. Yeah. Sean, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Dan and Amy, thanks for having me on.
Is the president right if he gives up on border security, which is what just reopening the government without any funding for border security that he's requested would mean? Then he's done, and so are Republicans.
Listen, I think people would be incredibly disappointed. And the one point I disagree with his statement on is it'd probably be the House members first who'd be angry with him, and then the Senate who would next be angry. We're the ones that kind of pushed him into making sure he engaged in this fight on border security. But this was the main tenet of his campaign, which was I'm going to secure the border, I'm going to build a wall. I think that if this doesn't happen, he'll have real problems in the 2020 election. And I think he was right. It's not just Republicans. It's independents and Democrats who see the threat at the border. And if you look, I think I saw a poll that 46% of Americans want the wall to be built. It's a plurality. The point is, with ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, the Washington Post, the New York Times, all of them are pushing back against the president and Republicans on border security. And still that many Americans agree with this issue, even with all the left-wing press pushing back against it, which means, this has really struck a chord with the American people. And I was talking to the vice president and Kirstjen Nielsen a couple nights ago, and they brought up some interesting stats. 17,000 migrants were arrested at our border that had criminal records. Now, not a criminal record that they crossed the border unlawfully, but an additional criminal record. So these are not just always good people who want to come in and work in the country, and I'll grant you there's a lot of good people who just want to come to work. But there's another segment of criminals, MS-13 gang members that want to get into the country. There's the drug trafficking that's coming across our southern border. We know that we have terrorists now trying to come into Central America and join the caravans to gain access to our country. It's important that we know who comes in and out. And the president continues to engage in the fight, I think, is incredibly important. Not just politically, but this is important for the American people.
Congressman,
by the way, it's also important that if we're going to get immigration reform done, which I think is really, really important, the first step in making immigration reform happen is border security.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know this breaking news. Cher, you know who Cher is. She's even trying to convince Nancy via a tweet saying, Nancy, give him the money for his wall.
What does Sonny Bono think? Oh, too soon.
He's out
sorry.
skiing. Oh no, I'm sorry. So is the
You
president?
guys are bad.
I know we're horrible.
Hey, that's Amy, not me.
Hey, we admit it. It's So do you think the president's Republican support is slipping a little bit? I mean, yesterday you had 8 Republicans breaking with the president on that bill to reopen the IRS and the Treasury Department.
I don't know that it's slipping. I think what is a real problem for Republicans, we want people who put in a day's work to get a day's pay. And when you see TSA agents and border security agents, we start to see government workers who have been going to work not getting a paycheck. A lot of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. They can't pay a mortgage or they can't put food on their table. It's really going to stress those families out, and that's bothersome to a lot of us. And so I think that's the real concern.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I was going to say, you look at where Democrats are at, and they have this idea that, hey, open up the government, Mr. President, and we'll negotiate with you tomorrow on border security. Let's become crystal clear that Nancy Pelosi isn't going to give more than $1 to border security, nor is Chuck Schumer. Their liberal base has gotten so radical, and they hate the president so much that this would be a perceived win for the president, and then therefore they can't give it to him. So I hope he doesn't fall into that trap that open it up now and we'll negotiate. Well, they're never going to negotiate with him because they won't
of course.
give him a win, which is building a wall. So it's either now or never.
It's a sea of rhetoric that has no port, and that's the point. And I think that back to your point about the D.C. press corps and the coverage and these shutdown, shakedown stories, these hysterical stories from these outlets, the audience is congressional Republicans, because I think that the Democrats see this as a kill shot more than the Mueller report, more than impeachment. This could be a kill shot for this presidency and the next 2 years if there's surrender on this issue. And this is what congressional Republicans need to understand, which is why I think the president should veto that, open the IRS, open the Treasury. It's like, stick to the four corners of the argument that is penetrating, because it is common sense. It is rooted in the tangible. You made it at the outset. People are assimilating it through the jungle of the D.C. press corps' hysterical stories that I referenced. So just stick right there and hold your ground.
Yeah, when we talk about the press, so in the shutdown that happened, was it in 2013? It was over Obamacare. We had just taken over the new Congress Republicans had, and we didn't want to give Barack Obama money to fund Obamacare. And so we had a government shutdown. And what Republicans tried to do is say, okay, well, we'll start walking through, different appropriation bills that don't touch Obamacare. We'll fight that one later. And the D.C. press corps was like, well, you can't do that. Why don't you do them all together? You can't do one piecemeal by piecemeal. So they were opposed to us doing that to Barack Obama then, right? But today they're like, well, let's just do them one by one. I mean, they'll, again, which just, we all know this and your listeners know this, the liberal media is in the pocket of the Democrat Party. But what really gets me is when Nancy Pelosi talks about it's immoral. A wall is immoral. Well, we all know that, Chuck Schumer and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton all supported a border fence in 2006 and again in 2013. But over 400 people died coming from Central America to our border last year alone. 400 people lost their lives on this really dangerous journey. You heard the president mention in his address that a third of the women are sexually assaulted on the journey, and that's a stat that comes from Doctors Without Borders, who are helping with the migrants as they try to come into our country. So it's not even a government stat, it's a Doctors Without Borders stat. And so when you look at humane policy, if you secure the border, you take away the incentive of people to come north thinking they can just walk into our country. They won't make the journey. They'll actually maybe apply for asylum in their home country at an American embassy. And if they get it, they can get it in an airplane and they can fly here. And if you have if you have a 2,000 plus mile border, people can run across that at any point. And to try to have border agents secure that whole border with their boots or their trucks or even with technology is really challenging. A border wall can funnel people into different points of entry, which allow the border agents more easily able to do their job, which is assess those who are coming in and out. I mean, walls work. They work for the Vatican. They work for Barack Obama.
They work for Israel.
They work for Mexico on its southern border. Yeah, right.
So President Trump heads to Mexico today. Do you know any details about what he's? I mean, I know he's meeting with Border Patrol agents, and I think he's going to McAllen, Texas. Correct?
Yeah, and we don't know much more of the details from that. But again, the president, though I don't know that he was at his best in the Oval Office with a strictly scripted address, the president is a great messenger, and he's great off the cuff. And I think the message that's going to come from the border is going to just add on what he did 2 nights ago in his address from the Oval Office. And again, I think he's touching the American people, showing, you know what, I am compassionate about what's happening on the border. I'm concerned about the people that are trying to come in and the risks that they face on their journey, but I'm also concerned about the American people. I'm concerned about our jobs. I'm concerned about the drug flow. I'm concerned about the dangerous folks, whether it's gang members or potential terrorists. All of this is concerning, and I think when he lays it out in such a compassionate way like he did a couple nights ago, that resonates. We've had some trouble with suburban moms in our party. Yeah. You saw that in greater Chicago. We saw that in different parts of Wisconsin. And I think when he speaks from the heart about the human struggle of this open border, I think that goes a long way to help him make the case for border security for a lot of people who, feel compassion for those who are trying to come. But when he messages it in a way that it's actually not compassionate, this policy, it's actually, really cruel. I think that puts a period on the point.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree with the issue of not coming across as malicious. Okay, but I think there's another piece of this, and he needs to address the sentimentality that the left traffics in, and the sentimentality, the expression of that on this issue is the model and stories about the first paycheck these federal workers are going to miss. And again, I understand. I don't want anybody to miss a paycheck. I want everybody to support their families. Stipulate to all of the above, all of the obvious things. Nobody's trying to be punitive to anybody. But here's the thing. Nobody lives in a world without consequences. Nobody. Nobody has, guarantees, inviolable guarantees in this life, in this world. And everybody is impacted. Federal workers are impacted. Non-federal workers are impacted. They're impacted by how the government manages itself. They're impacted by how we do or do not secure our border. You want to talk about, your immediate struggles. You want me to introduce you to Ronil Singh's family out in Newton, California?
Exactly.
So let's have an adult conversation, too, to say, I respect your position and your concerns about your family and your economic security. But I also respect and I'm concerned about what's happening to people like Ronil Singh and Kate Steinle, and we've got myriad cases in Illinois, Dennis McCann, Eric Brady's wife down in Mahomet in central Illinois, I could name others, whose lives and family lives have been inalterably changed because of people in this country who shouldn't be here, even though they represent a small percentage of those in this country legally, who killed people, much less all of the other crimes. And so I think that there's not enough willingness of Republicans to stand and deliver on this, to be empathetic on the one hand, but also to put it between people's eyes to say, we all got to be adults here, and we got to come to some solution here. I've had DACA, a dreamer deal on the table for 18 months, and they don't care about those kids, and they don't care about federal workers, and they don't care about anybody except amassing political power for themselves. And if that's the approach they're going to take, then I'm going to do what's necessary to do what we all agree is the commonsensical thing.
Well, first of all, I think it's important that we recognize the plight not only of the victims of illegal immigration, but workers who aren't getting paychecks. We recognize that, and you feel for them. But if Democrats want a solution to this, they also can say, okay, Mr. President, we'll negotiate. Let's open this thing up so people get paychecks. The liberal media wants to put all the blame on us. They should actually say, okay, what are you going to do, Nancy? How are you going to sit down and negotiate this deal? And, I've got a wife and I've got 8 kids. And when I negotiate with my wife, if I get, 30%, I'm a winner in that negotiation because I don't usually get that much, right? No one's. So if you look at the president wants $5.7 billion, Nancy Pelosi wants to give $1. the way you get a resolution, if you really care about getting a resolution to this issue, is you sit down and you talk about it and go, okay, everyone's going to be a winner here. Everyone's going to be a loser. We're not going to give you 5.7, Mr. President, but we do understand you want border security. Let's figure out a number that works for both of us. But what Nancy and Chuck have done is said, here's what's going to happen. We're going to try to bludgeon you and bludgeon the government worker and say, we're not going to give anything to border security. We're not going to work for a resolution. We want you to tap out and call uncle, and we win, you lose. That's not the way negotiations work. And, you know, if they're willing to sit down and cut a deal, that'll be great. But the president's now realizing they're not, and I think he's going to go to some other options to actually secure the border and build a wall. I don't necessarily like them, but I think he's actually going to do them because he thinks this is so important.
Sean Duffy, Republican congressman from Wisconsin, 7th. Sean, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, you guys have a great morning. Thanks for having me on.
You too.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
The most popular days to get engaged are Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. And guys, finding the perfect wedding venue can be harder to figure out than the color and quality of the perfect diamond. With love in the air, Avante Banquets is here to help you plan the wedding of your dreams for the party of a lifetime at a price right for you. Avante Banquets is part of the family-owned Chicago Prime Restaurants, with a picturesque location opened just last year near Barrington, providing fine American dining and a timeless experience. Avante is an exceptional space for your wedding or corporate events and fundraisers, for an intimate gathering, or parties of 500 or more. The calendar is filling up, so secure your date today at AvanteBanquets.com. That's AVANTE Banquets.com. With wedding packages starting at just $39 a person. Experience exceptional hospitality with the Calcunos family at Avante Banquets, because classic never goes out of style. AvanteBanquets.com. AvanteBanquets.com.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs, get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain. Find the source and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That website, mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It's actually really been helping my system and my lupus and my gastro problems. So I'm actually very happy with the product.
Acid reflux is pretty much under control. That's why I keep taking it.
I have noticed, I'm sleeping better since I started taking the Balance of Nature and all the other things I'm doing.
I can't believe how wonderful your product is. I listened to you guys on the radio for years and years and years, and I listened to all the testimonials. I go, well, it's probably time to give it a try, and I've been just happy as can be ever since.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Oh, wow!
It can't be.
Oh, yes, yes, yes!
Oh, where have you been? If you snore, the first time you use Mute can be quite an experience.
I can breathe! I can breathe!
Snoring can happen when your nose is blocked, forcing you to breathe through your mouth. Mute is a comfortable nasal breathing device designed to increase airflow through the nose by gently opening the airways. Thanks to Mute, you get all the air you need through your nose and not your mouth, which means less snoring and more chance of sleep.
Oh, that's the best night I've had in years.
In trials, 75% of couples reported a reduction in snoring when using Mute.
Available at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid and other fine stores. To find your local store or for more information, go to mutesnoring.com. Mute. Breathe more, snore less, sleep better.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting. You do life.
Winners don't wait for chances. They take them, seizing opportunities that come their way, having the courage necessary to make the game-winning play when it's all on the line. It's what sets us apart from the rest. Your home for Husky basketball is right here on the Northern Illinois Huskies Sports Network.
The Huskies take on the Central Michigan Chippewas this Tuesday night at 7. Don't miss a minute of NIU basketball on AM 560, The Answer. It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
He's going to where he wants to build more wall. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump will soon leave the White House and go to the border in Texas. Fox's Jared Halpern's already there, live in McAllen.
Yeah, this area of the Rio Grande Valley is among the busiest for border agents dealing with illegal crossings. President Trump expected to meet with border agents, stop by the border, and hold an immigration roundtable as part of his pitch that a crisis exists. So far, the president's request for nearly $6 billion for a border wall has been met with stiff resistance from Democrats who say border security should be focused on manpower and technology. President Trump has considered declaring a national emergency to begin border wall construction without congressional approval. Dave.
Now, Jared, meeting yesterday with House Speaker Pelosi and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer did not go well.
Unfortunately, the president just got up and walked out.
The president called that a waste of time when they again told him they won't fund a wall. So it's day 20 of the partial government shutdown, which means about 800,000 federal workers won't get paid tomorrow. It's also affecting contractors. Farmers hurt by the trade dispute are unable to apply for and get subsidies set aside for them, and the FDA has suspended some domestic food inspections.
The agency says it is working to bring back about 150 employees to look over riskier foods like cheese, seafood, and infant formula. But as for other foods, FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb says the agency can't make the case that a routine inspection of a Nabisco cracker facility is needed during the shutdown.
That's Fox's Jill Nato. A police officer gunned down in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Female with a GSW to the head.
You could also hear on police audio from Broadcastify that a suspect was seen running away. The officer was ready to go to work when she was shot last night outside a home. A person was detained for questioning. The morning after, another officer in Raleigh, North Carolina was shot and critically wounded trying to make an arrest. A man has been charged with attempted murder. A second suspect facing a stolen gun charge. This is Fox News. Skies are cloudy, 15 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. Prosecutors in Georgia and here in the state of Illinois may file charges as soon as today against R&B singer R. Kelly. Here in Chicago, more women are coming forward with allegations of inappropriate conduct. Meantime, Kelly is facing a backlash over abuse allegations featured in a Lifetime docu-series. Spurred by some Chicago radio stations, protesters gathered last night outside the R&B singer's West Side studio. Chicago Alderman Ricardo Munoz is in rehab this morning after being charged with domestic battery in an incident involving his wife on New Year's Eve. Munoz has checked himself into a rehab facility in Indiana. A former Illinois lawmaker looking at a dozen felony counts after investigators say he shared his ex-girlfriend's naked pictures online. Lake County prosecutors filed the charges yesterday against Nick Sauer. Former basketball coach at a charter school on Chicago's West Side is charged with sexually assaulting 2 teenage students. Jamel Jones was denied bail during a hearing yesterday. He coached at Legal Prep Charter Academy between February 2017 and this past October. The Bears are losing defensive coordinator Vic Fangio to the Broncos. Denver has hired him as their new head coach. It's the first head coaching job for Fangio, who's been a coordinator in pro football dating back to 1984. Blackhawks fall to the Predators at the UC 4-3. Blazers rain down on the Bulls in Portland 124-112. It's 8:03. Time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Kohl's business continued to improve over the holiday season, but Wall Street was hoping for even better numbers. Kohl's sales at existing stores during the November through December period were up more than 1% over the previous holiday season. However, last year's increase was nearly 7%. Kohl's says its digital sales rose in the double digits, and it's calling holiday sales strong. L Brands, parent company of Victoria's Secret, says its holiday business was about the same as a year ago. The company is expecting its business for the year to come in at the stronger levels of its forecasts. Ford has revamped the Explorer SUV for the first time since the 2011 model year. The new Explorer has a third row of seats. It's switching to rear-wheel drive with upgraded engines and transmissions, and there's even a gas-electric hybrid Explorer. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
President Trump will deliver his second State of the Union address on Tuesday, January 29th. And to mark the occasion, AM 560, The Answer, is throwing a party. It's a taste of freedom, a State of the Union viewing party presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. Enjoy dinner and drinks as you watch the speech with fellow AM 560 listeners. Tickets are on sale now for just $64 at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Brian Duncan, co-founder of Signature Bank. Born and raised in Chicagoland, my partners and I knew this city needed a locally owned business bank. As fellow entrepreneurs, we know the challenges facing businesses, and we are invested in our customer success. We are here to build mutually beneficial, long-term, lasting relationships with our customers. We look forward to helping our customers reach their goals every day, and we are here to see them succeed. At Signature Bank, you work directly with decision makers who understand your business and can deliver on their promises.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you're hiring, some job boards make you sort through tons of the wrong resumes, which makes finding a great candidate like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's not smart. Then there's the smart way at ZipRecruiter. Unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter finds great candidates for you. That's why you should try it now for free. Their powerful matching technology scans thousands of resumes to identify people with the right skills, education, and experience, and actively invites them to apply to your job, so you get qualified candidates fast. And while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds what you're looking for, the needle in the haystack.
ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. That's based on hiring sites on Trustpilot with over 1,000 reviews. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It is 8:07, and let's check your roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The latest with Jim Talamonte.
In Round Lake, Fairfield Road is closed northbound south of 134 due to a crash. Edens Expressway is clear inbound. Outbound, there's scattered delays. You get past Lake Avenue, it's 28 minutes to Lake Cook. Kennedy, 40 minutes, so O'Hare to downtown. 29 from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Outbound, 31 minutes to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower at Mill Road on the extension, there's a crash at the left shoulder. And more delays kick in at St. Charles. 50 minutes, 390 to downtown. 32 from Manheim, outbound 43 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 38. Ryan, 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Tri-State, heavy Cermak to past 31st, crash the left lane. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, partly sunny, not as cold, the high 29. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 21. More clouds than sun tomorrow, high 36. Clouds and some snow on Saturday, accumulating a coating to an inch, the high Saturday 35. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 15 at O'Hare, 17 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Switching to the cultural front, I wanted to make sure you didn't miss this. The American Psychological Association has spoken.
Can you put that copy back on my desk, please?
Yeah, the
Latest article.
new guidelines on the practice of psychological treatment on men and boys. 40 years of research the APA relies on to offer this conclusion. Traditional masculinity is psychologically harmful in that it socializes boys to suppress their emotions, causing damage that echoes both inwardly and outwardly. Is that what I've been feeling? Is that the emptiness? Mm-hmm. What is gender in the 2010s? Ryan McDermott, a psychologist at the University of South Alabama, who helped draft the men's guidelines, asks in the report. It's no longer just this male-female binary. The role of the clinician, he says, can be to encourage men to discard the harmful ideologies of traditional masculinity, which are synonyms for violence and sexism. That's in parentheses in his quote. And find flexibility in the potentially positive aspects. Traditional masculinity, it's never precisely defined in the report, but the authors say, quote, that it's marked with, quote, stoicism, competitiveness, dominance, aggression, and is on the whole harmful.
Oh, really?
Traditional masculinity is harmful. Men either need to be reprogrammed or declared obsolete. The traditional male. The stoicism, the competitiveness, the dominance, the aggression. You know, those qualities that help you to cope with problems and make your way in this world and support a family and accept responsibility. Defend those things that are yours, those things that you love. That is all terribly harmful.
Are we going to be obsolete soon, too? The type A women out there who are aggressive and competitive and... Because eventually I'm sure it'll come to us.
Rod Dreyer commenting on the report. It's not all PC codswallop, but given the social justice warrior jargon throughout, I suspect this is mostly about psychologizing the gelding of American males. The more I think about it, the more Soviet it seems to me. Descend from gender ideology, and the experts say you must be insane. Oh. Then you've got to be sent away to get re-educated so that you can re-enter society in the proper emasculated, deferential.
I mean, aren't you white males sick of being under attack? 312-642-5600 is our turnkey Pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
Particular constellation of standards have sway over large segments of the population, male population, anti-femininity, achievement, eschewal of the appearance of weakness, adventure, risk, violence. Also, traditional masculinity is linked to
Yes.
homophobia, bullying, and sexual harassment.
Oh, right.
Once upon a time, by the way, the American Psychiatric Association declared homosexuality a mental disorder, not homophobia. As what you have here at the American Psychological Association are political apparatchiks of the left. But this is where the gender ideology is going. And it is coming to a school near you if you have concerns about kids and how your boys are being raised at home, for example, versus how they're being instructed in school. The American Psychological Association, the American Psychiatric Association, you understand, right? This is not just at the university level. You understand that their scholarship informs clinicians and counselors at the K through 12 level. You get this, right? I mean, are people getting a little bit of a sense of how the gender ideology campaign of the left is being prosecuted by the cultural Marxists? You think it's all just about the girl identifying as a boy who wants access to the boys' locker room? And if we can just find a space for her, then we're going to peacefully coexist like it says on the back of her parents' Subaru Outback? I don't think you're getting it. I don't think people are getting it. The left gets it, which is why they run the field on people who otherwise have the appropriate visceral opposition to this political indoctrination, this insanity. You think I'm maybe overstating the case, don't you?
I don't think so. Why do you think young boys aren't even asking girls out now? Now you have groups of people going to dances because the boys are afraid if they look at them the wrong way or if something happens that they'll be accused of a sexual crime. Then they will be destroyed. And then they won't get into college. They won't get scholarships.
There's a predicate question. What's a boy and what's a girl?
Well, back in my day, a boy was a boy and a girl was a girl.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, that was the truth once upon a time. But XX and XY, that's just a social construct. K through 12. This story from the Telegraph.
Oh, no.
Think I'm overstating the case, do you? Not you, but people,
Mm-hmm.
you talk about this, oh, come on. Oh, tolerance and this and that. Yeah, I'm very tolerant. It's those that are looking to be offended so they can use virtue signaling as a way to oppress others that are the thugs. Thugs they're wearing a scarlet tee these days, the thugs. You know what the scarlet tee is?
No.
The hate has no home here sign in your yard. That's one way.
Mine's in Swedish.
That's one way to pick them out. Not the only way. From the Telegraph, across the pond there, school children will be taught that all genders can have periods in new sex education lessons.
Okay.
The new advice follows a council report. Trans boys and men and non-binary people have periods.
Okay.
Adding that menstruation must be inclusive of all genders.
Okay. Boys do not get their period.
Bins used for menstruation products will be provided in all toilets for children, per the report. Calls for transgender students and pupils to be provided with additional support from a school nurse if needed. K through 12 level in England. Carl in Temple, Texas. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan. I love you guys.
Thank you.
I'm curious, was this written by a man or a woman?
I don't know what those words are. I don't know those words you're using.
I'm using improper gender for them there. I apologize. But if it's written by a woman, it's sexist. If it's written by a man, he's been what did you call deballed?
Yes.
And this goes
Deballed is
back
the
to
technical term.
the old societal thing. the pen is mightier than the sword. Yeah, good luck with that.
Thanks.
Have a nice day.
Thanks, Carl. Matt in Lake Geneva.
Hey, good day. This was just part of their plan to basically have one unified gender. We got he, she bathrooms and everything else for that matter. And you can check if you're a male, a female, or you don't know. Their final objective for those lefty boombats is just to have one unified gender. And I tell you what, I don't like the way the direction it's going at all.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Matt. I hope people are getting hip to what's going on. I really do. Yeah, and I'm not talking about, do you care about your boys exclusively? Do you care about your boys? Do you care about your girls? Do you care about the intrinsic nature of men and women and the differences? By the way, if you think this is all about sort of like some pay anti-egalitarianism, that's what this is about, and opportunities and wages and all that. You know what is interesting? In Scandinavian countries, they find the research is counterintuitive. Jordan Peterson makes this point. I think it's in his 12 Rules book, that the more egalitarian those societies become, the more distinctions there are between men and women in terms of their chosen endeavors, in terms of their dispositions and temperament. The distinctions are actually sharpened because you're no longer playing politics with gender, right? You're just sort of, living a life according to, even if you're not a believer, according to God's vision of men and women. Really interesting. This is all about poisoning your mind with cultural Marxist groupthink. Mike in Crown Point.
Morning, guys. I think this is just a direct result of how studies and grants at the university level especially get funded. If you want a certain result, you donate a lot of money, and you'll get a report that says exactly what you want it to say. I think we need to get a system where we have double blind. You donate to university, you can't specify where the money goes, and the people that are using the money don't know who donated it. So to help keep it more objective and honest. But it's the same thing with global warming. If you want to get government research grants, you've got to sign on to the fact that there's global warming to begin with, and it's man-caused. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. Frank, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Why do we have so many young men on medication, on anti-anxiety meds, and all these other psychoses? It's this mess that they're causing by telling these young boys that their basic natures are evil, that their basic natures are against society. I'd like someone to do a study to show us how the increase in these masters in social work have caused the increase in the problems with our youth, violence among our youth, this deculturalization where they're all trying to kill each other because they don't know how to properly express each other. Oh, here, take a pill. We'll make you better.
Thanks for the call, Frank. I mean, the other thing is, as Marx himself did, the cultural Marxists in the West are going after religion. Prosecution Service in the Netherlands examining whether the Nashville Statement on Marriage and Sexuality breaches Dutch law. The document, signed by about 250 Protestant ministers, states that marriage is the covenantal, sexual, procreative, lifelong union of one man and one woman, and that it's sinful to approve of homosexual impurity or transgenderism. You can disagree or agree with that statement. It's obviously rooted in Christianity. You want clergy prosecuted? I mean, that's the Netherlands. That's not the United States. Right. You think we're that far away here? We're not so far away that Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat from Hawaii, Iraqi war veteran, actually felt compelled to weigh in against some of her Democrat colleagues, including that Mazie Hirono one of her senators from Hawaii.
That woman needs to retire.
Tulsi Gabbard is about the only, I mean, in terms of at least, just thinking off the top, she's about the only independent thinker in the Democrat caucuses and in Congress. For too long, she writes in The Hill, in our country, politicians have weaponized religion for their own selfish gain. We certainly see that in Chicago politics, fomenting bigotry, fear, suspicions based on faith, religion, or spiritual practices of political opponents. She goes after Di-Fi's comment to Amy Coney Barrett during her confirmation to the Seventh Circuit about how her Catholic faith speaks loudly in her and how that was a concern to Di-Fi. And she, again, calls for religious tolerance and religious liberty in this country and understanding it's the bedrock of a free society and the bedrock of our free society. Private property rights and religious freedom and free and fair elections. Tulsi Gabbard felt compelled to make this statement, largely directed at some of the leading lights of her own party. So how concerned is she about us going down the path that the Dutch are contemplating?
Men, we don't know what we did.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why can't more things in life be customizable? Why can't I buy Neapolitan ice cream without strawberry? Can't I just have the chocolate and vanilla flavors I'm comfortable with? Do people even want a fruity ice cream flavor sandwiched right between the classics?
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, equal housing insurer.
Oh, hey.
Hey, did you hear? My friend's company was the victim of an email impersonation attack.
It's a serious threat to every business.
What if cybercriminals target us and trick accounting into making a wire transfer?
Don't worry, we have Barracuda.
So we're secured?
Yeah. Barracuda uses artificial intelligence to detect and block spear phishing and account takeover attempts.
What a relief.
Don't become a victim. Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Here's a great way to start the new year with the MyPillow 4-pack offer. You'll get 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows plus free shipping, all for the normal price of 1 premium MyPillow. You can't get that deal in any store. So as you've been hearing me tell you for years now, they're the best pillows money can buy. I cannot sleep without mine. And the bottom line is you will sleep better, and then you'll feel better. You'll wake up feeling refreshed, ready to go. And MyPillow is washable and dryable and has a money-back guarantee if you're not happy, but you will be. And here's more good news. You can still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper and pet bed. Just be sure to use the promo code Amy. Now to get the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping, again, go to MyPillow.com, type in Amy in that promo code, and check out those mattress toppers. And don't forget those pet beds because they will get dirty, and you can throw them in the washer and the dryer. MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I thought I had a sinus headache for a few days, but I had a massive brain aneurysm, hemorrhage of the brain, and a stroke. And I was on my deathbed. I was on a respirator in a coma for 35 days. And 3 months later, I came home in a wheelchair. I had double vision. I had to learn to walk again, to speak again. 1 and 1 is 2, write the alphabet. You know, if I went out and did a little something, I'd come home, I'd be in bed. Now I'm up by like 5:30 in the morning, and I go to the gym. I do shopping. I cook. I have energy all day. I mean, I feel great. Overall, my whole outlook, just feeling, my mental aspect, everything is better.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Are you a fiduciary? If you're the owner or officer of a company sponsoring a corporate retirement plan, then you are a fiduciary. Why is this important? As a fiduciary, you may be held personally liable for breaches in your 401k plan. There has been a recent surge in lawsuits related to excessive fees and fiduciary breaches targeting 401k plans, their owners, and officers. One of our newest charity golf benefactors, Clear Financial Strategies, is your retirement plan CFO, bringing together a specialized fiduciary compliance and management team to help prevent potential lawsuits, all at competitive costs. Discover if your 401k contains any hidden fees or risks, and how Clear Financial Strategies is a registered investment advisor that's a true fiduciary. Professionals placing your interests first. I suggest you request Clear Financial Strategies custom report on company retirement plan risks. Visit my401krisks.com. That's my401krisks.com. Do it today, my401krisks.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, over the holidays, Tyler Trent passed away.
No, we mentioned it briefly, and it was just he got to go to the Purdue Boilermakers bowl game, so that was good.
He was 20 years old. If you're not familiar with Tyler Trent, he's this young man diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer. Purdue football super fan.
Yeah, he was a sophomore at Purdue and he got sick with cancer.
Basically, like really sort of an inspirational leader for the football team. He predicted, and he rose to some national renown, predicted that Purdue would beat Ohio State when they did, and ESPN profiled him. Coach Brom, Purdue quarterback David Blough had some words for Tyler Trent because they really had developed a relationship.
And he was on hospice, and that following week, Purdue played Iowa, and he went to that game and predicted that Purdue would beat Iowa, and then that happened.
And so here's the thing about there was a memorial service the other day in an Indianapolis church for Tyler Trent. It drew Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb, who read a message from Vice President Mike Pence and his wife. It's just a kid that sort of inspired a lot of people with his courage and his sort of wonderful, upbeat personality, his love of Purdue, and sort of reminded us how transcendental sports can be. Great story. Here's Purdue quarterback David Blough eulogizing Tyler Trent.
What made the time I got to spend as an adopted member of the Trent family special was the conversations that were had, the relationships that were deepened, and the memories that we shared. And now I think that if Tyler and I had the opportunity to discuss what I was planning on sharing this evening, the conversation would be simple. He would want it to revolve around the 5-letter word, the 5-letter name that has stood the test of time. He'd want tonight to be all about Jesus. And as we reflect on our family member, our friend, our teammate, captain, our classmate, our cancer-fighting warrior, most importantly, tonight we get to remember Tyler as a follower of Jesus.
Pretty impressive stuff, what's going on at Purdue. Pretty special.
It's a great campus.
Purdue football coach Brom and many of the Boilermakers wore black jerseys. Also, this nice touch, great class exhibited by Michigan State. In remembrance of Tyler Trent, Michigan State had a banner on the concourse outside of one of the sections in the stands before the Michigan State-Purdue basketball game for fans to sign pregame. Before the shoot-around, Michigan State coach Izzo and Michigan State players were the first to sign the banner. So, the kid's example is going to live on in the impact that he had on all these other young men that he impacted at Purdue and now sort of radiating out from West Lafayette. Pretty good stuff.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to switch gears and take a global look at Trump administration policy with Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, and how he feels about the troop drawdown in Syria. That's where we'll start at 8:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Clouds and 15 degrees. Two separate shootings in the South this morning have left one police officer dead and others severely wounded. In Shreveport, Louisiana, a police officer was walking to work and fatally shot. At least one person had been detained for questioning. Meantime, two suspects have been arrested in Raleigh, North Carolina, after an officer was shot there. President Trump will be making his way to Texas to visit a border region of the U.S. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders saying Trump will go to meet with those on the front lines of national security. Federal workers are planning to rally outside the White House today as nearly 800,000 federal employees have been furloughed or working without pay. Members of Congress are expected to speak. Iran confirms it has an American citizen in custody. Navy veteran Michael White is believed to be held in an Iranian prison. Los Angeles teachers may go on strike on Monday unless there is a contract deal. This teacher wants to stand strong, but she also fears going without a paycheck.
Financially, I'll be using my credit card, so at the end of the strike, I'll probably have a big debt.
Teachers are pushing for more money, smaller class sizes. It's possible strike would be the first for the union in nearly 30 years. Here in Chicago, more women are coming forward with allegations of inappropriate conduct by singer R. Kelly. Meantime, Chicago Alderman Ricardo Munoz is in rehab after being charged with domestic battery in an incident involving his wife on New Year's Eve. Munoz has checked himself into a rehab facility in Indiana. The Bears are losing defensive coordinator Vic Fangio to the Broncos. Denver's hired him as their new head coach. Nashville over the Blackhawks 4-3 at the UC, while the Blazers beat the Bulls in Portland 124-112. The news, a service of Staples. Staples has the supplies you need to run your business like a boss this year. Right now, buy one HP ink and get the second at 30% off, so you can stock up and save. Ends 1/12/19. Restrictions may apply. See store or staples.com for details. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
And if you're a small business owner or you make the marketing or advertising decisions for a business, then listen up.
Once again, our annual Food for the Poor campaign is underway to raise money for children suffering from poverty in Haiti. We've partnered with Food for the Poor to provide food and clean water to several thousand children this year.
And here's how your business can be a part of this. Become a Food for the Poor business benefactor. Just make a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor, and AM 560 will give you 40 60-second commercials to air here on AM 560 The Answer between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday at no additional cost to you.
That's the best advertising deal in all of Chicago. To take advantage of this deal, just call Anjanette Natowski at 847-472-8951. Again, that's 847-472-8951. One more time, 847-472-8951.
The quivers, the shivers, goosebumps. That's what our customers say before 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning repairs their furnace. Call us. We'll fix it right, stand by our work, and give you our straightforward pricing, which means no hourly charges. How's that for goosebumps? Right now, get big savings on any heating repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Get up and go. It's Apple Vacation's great winter event. Non-stop fun, adventure, sun-soaked beaches. Escape to your favorite tropical destination. It's all available now. Save hundreds, but hurry, the best hotels and prices won't last. 7 nights at Grand Bahia Principe Bávaro start from only $16.49. Or make it a week at Dreams Huatulco Resort and Spa starting from just $16.49. And with Apple Vacations, it's all included. Non-stop round-trip air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Carey Travel Express at 847-639-3300 or visit careytravelexpress.com to book your trip today. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select exclusive vacation flights from O'Hare to Punta Cana on Frontier starting February 4th and to Huatulco on Volaris starting February 9th and include taxes and fees including September 11th security fee. Some flights are operated by other airlines. Baggage charges apply. See applevacations.com. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
8:37. Let's get an update on your ride to work. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Tri-State Tollway southbound traffic clogged up Everett to Deerfield Road, where a crash just cleared. Farther south, it's heavy from Reagan Tollway to past 31st after a medical emergency. Northbound jams up the Mile Long Bridge 47th after Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The other tollways are okay right now. About 8 and 19 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, up on 29. At Kennedy, 40 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 29 from Montrose, 32 on the Express. Up on 27 to the airport, the Eisenhower. 50 minutes, 390 to downtown, 35 from Manheim. up on 36 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 40 minutes, 95 to downtown. Bishop Ford, 30, 8094 to Merge. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny, not as cold. High near 29 today, and will dip to a low of 21 overnight. 15 at O'Hare. Next news at 9. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Townstone Financial. Let Townstone.com show you how to pay off high-interest credit cards by using your home's value.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Mark this on your calendar, Tuesday, January 29th. That is the day when President Trump will deliver his second State of the Union address. And guess what? We are throwing a huge party, and you're invited. We're calling it A Taste of Freedom, and it's presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com, and we're holding it at the beautiful Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. The evening will feature dinner at 6:30, followed by the president's speech on the big screen at 8 p.m. And if you hurry, you can buy tickets to sit with us, Dan or Amy. We each have our own table this year, but those tickets are limited. So join us and a couple hundred other AM 560 listeners for this great event. Tickets start at just $64, and they can be purchased at 560theanswer.com/taste. That's 560theanswer.com/taste, and it's sponsored in part by Storlock, and we will see you Tuesday, January 29th at the Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village.
And speaking of health insurance, mentors.com, how about and health? I don't know if you saw John Cass's column. I saw this yesterday pop up. A true gift from my family, Christmas in the ICU. Cass, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Story, Chicago Tribune columnist. He had a health event over the holidays. He's over at the Palace Grill, one of his favorite haunts, great breakfast joint on Madison, you know.
It's a satellite office.
Yeah, exactly.
I always joke around with him.
And he's talking to the owner, George, who's a good guy, and they're friends, obviously. And George is like, John was telling me, he's like, is everything all right with you? You don't look right.
Yeah.
And he was starting to get a little goofy. And so his son took him to the ER, and he was admitted to the ICU.
Oy.
The first night, he writes in his column, first night my blood sugar levels reached 976. That sounds high. I don't know what's proper because I don't go to the doctor either. Yeah. The doctor said I could.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The doctor said I could have easily fallen into a coma where my brain, kidneys, and other organs would have been damaged, perhaps beyond repair. He has diabetes and he didn't know it. Because, you know, like all traditional men and their toxic masculinity, he doesn't go to the doctor. And so I told Cass I'm getting him a Peloton, and we're gonna race.
You're gonna race?
Yeah.
On your Peloton?
I'm getting mine custom built with an ashtray and a martini glass, but
a martini glass holder. Yeah.
Yeah. And he'll probably want a smoker on his,
yeah.
So as
he's okay.
As he writes, diabetes diet recipes to John Cass. All right. Long live John Cass.
It's going to be interesting to see how much weight he'll lose, because it's going to be a big amount.
Yeah.
But then he'll feel better. It'll be better in the long run.
Yeah, but it's true. But you have to give up all the
fun things. No, you don't have to give up everything. Everything in
everything in moderation.
Moderation, yes.
All right, switching. I just had to mention the casting because I was stunned by it. I want to make sure he's okay, and he is. He's good, and he'll manage his diabetes. But send him your well wishes as well is always good. All right, switching gears. This has kind of been lost in the shuffle, of course, with respect to the matter of border security and the partial shutdown of the government. But you still have a lot of disagreement across party lines about military presence in Afghanistan and Syria. Shouldn't come as a surprise again. Trump wants out of a lot of foreign entanglements. Troop levels in Afghanistan and Syria are to be drawn down, according to Trump pronouncements. And I think that's whether or not you can rely on any promise from Turkey's Erdogan to protect our Kurdish allies. And even if he made the promise, which he's not willing to make, I don't think you can rely on it. But is this the right move with respect to this other existential threat that still exists, although it's been minimized, of radical Islamic terrorism? Well, to help us explore that topic, we're pleased to be joined again by our friend Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, who's president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. He's a former U.S. Navy lieutenant commander, and he's also the author of the book, A Battle for the Soul of Islam. Dr. Jasser, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's great to be with you. Happy New Year. Thanks for having me.
Happy New Year. Good to connect with you again. And so how did you react to Trump's decision with respect to troops in Syria and the argument that he and others made, which is, look, even the generals say there is no military solution to Syria. So what exactly are we doing there?
Yeah, I think, on the one hand, I wasn't surprised, but the timing was a bit odd after the phone call with Erdogan. And also, when we talk about deployments, I think the issue in Afghanistan, there's a significant deployment there. In Syria, you're talking at max 2,000 troops, most of which are special forces. We've got a few hundred special forces in Somalia. We've got special forces all over the world that are doing things that are just part of targeted ops that I don't think the American public, if push comes to shove, would say that's a persistent deployment. Not to mention in Syria, this is a huge return on investment regarding on-the-ground intel right on the border of Israel, our greatest ally in the Middle East. Already, as we've talked about removal, the Russian troops are moving into the town. Our greatest ally, second to Israel, are the Kurds. The Kurds are already starting to have to lean towards Russia, lean towards even Assad. And at the end of the day, they are again telling us, and my friends who are on the Kurdish Syrian Democratic Forces are saying, America again is abandoning us like they did in Iraq. And when I talk about return on investment, those few hundred troops, yes, four lives are too much, but we lost 4 American lives in Syria in the last 3 years. The Kurds lost 10,000 and control 30% of Syria. That's all going to go away and go to Russia. And you have a sort of a nexus of Russia, Turkey, Iran, Assad, and then the radical Islamists, and then our real allies, which are the Kurds and the democratic forces. And now with our removal of those few special forces are going to lose significant intel that we had on the ground. And also then, I have one reason why I like this move, because ultimately it's going to cause that region to flare up even more, in which we'll really have to do something real rather than this sort of passive-aggressive move that we've been doing since the Obama administration. But having said that, President Trump should be given credit for allowing Mattis to win the war against ISIS in 2017. It wasn't won a few weeks ago. It was won 6 months after Mattis took over. And, since then we've basically now are withdrawing to basically lose the peace that we had there.
So Turkey and the Kurds are turning to Russia to solve the problems by our exit. And then what is Israel's role going to be in all of this?
Israel, as small of a country as it is basically to stay safe and limit its risk. And as a result, it'll probably reach out to Russia. It'll probably make sure that Hezbollah, Iran's terrorist arm, doesn't have missiles that it can launch. That's why within a few days of President Trump's announcement, they launched attacks on some missile S-300 Russian missiles that Hezbollah had few miles from their border. So as a result, they're going to continue to do containment. And that's why on the New Year's, our organization had a message, which was, we get the border security, we get the fact that we had targeted, you're not going to win this militarily, but it's time for America to go on the offense against the ideology. Because when we start turning to radical Islamist dictators like Erdogan, who really has no business being in NATO, when we turn to them to maintain the peace, this is worse than it was if in the Cold War we turned to communist regimes to maintain peace against the Soviets. We never did such a thing, and that's sort of what we're doing right now.
What would winning the peace, as you described, look like in terms of American resources? Again,
not military, but simply intel on the ground, working slowly with our allies, not abandoning them, and also being on the offense. Too long we have been on the defense. We see now 2 Muslim members of Congress that are part of the identity politic response. We see huge foundations donating to the Islamist causes, and yet the cause of liberty, secular liberal democracy, is not being pushed through our public diplomacy programs, through the State Department and elsewhere. We should be in the offense. The Russians, the Iranians, the Muslim Brotherhood should be declared a terrorist organization. We should put them on the defense against the liberals. There are women that want to be free in Saudi Arabia. Iran is on the verge of a revolution that would really defeat the Islamists. Those are the areas that we should be pushing publicly rather than simply this whack-a-mole defense that we've been as a strategy.
What did you think of, speaking of the new Muslim American members of Congress, what did you think of Rashida Tlaib and her comments about the president, and also, even more important than her profanity, her and Ocasio-Cortez wiping Israel off their maps and their offices and just declaring that territory the state of Palestine. Excuse me.
I like Palestine.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
local.
My friend contact Siraj Hajimi has a good piece in the Washington Examiner about how the feminists and the women's movement really need to look at themselves and see why is two flaming anti-Semites like Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib now the icons of the women's movement when they are just grotesquely anti-Semitic. Being against some of Israel's policies is very different than being anti-Israel. And these two members of Congress are anti-Israel. It's the new anti-Semitism, and the left should be ashamed of itself. They are basically treating Muslims with a bigotry of low expectations. Our community can do better than them and better than this. And at the end of the day, nobody's taking away their free speech. But what happens is they become the poster children for the Muslim community. And here are folks that these two members of Congress repulse when people criticize Islam and they want to control that speech. And yet if they use profanity against the president, that's supposed to be sort of this authenticity that would never be tolerated in a mosque, let alone let's see her say that about the president, about the head of Hamas in Gaza, and see how long she would stay free over there. So it's quite the epitome of hypocrisy for them to fall for treating our faith with kid gloves, and yet they treat our country with an abandon. They've said things about the military that I find quite offensive, and so many other things. And I think it's just time to stop with the identity politics and really look at the ideologies that they present.
He is Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, medical doctor, former U.S. Navy lieutenant commander, and the author of the book, A Battle for the Soul of Islam. Dr. Jasser, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher & Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher & Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
Food for the Poor is supported by Northwestern University's Master of Product Design and Development Management program. If you're thinking about an MBA, but your passion is in product design and development, Northwestern University's Master of Product Design and Development Management program is for you. It's a 2-year part-time management program for working professionals who aspire for leadership roles in product design and development. Register now for the info session in downtown Chicago, January 16th, or the open house in Evanston on January 19th. Northwestern's MPD is acclaimed by Businessweek as one of the top design thinking programs in the world. MPD prepares you for leadership in the product design and development world better than any other business management program, balancing management teachings with advanced design and development. Visit mpd.northwestern.edu. That's mpd.northwestern.edu.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had cancer. I have fibromyalgia. I have nerve damage and fatigue. I have thalassemia. I'm hypoglycemic. So my life since cancer, I've had to learn how to live with it. But starting Balance of Nature, I felt it the first month. I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Attention. This is a special announcement to Americans struggling with $10,000 or more in credit card debt, personal loans, collection accounts, or medical bills. Call National Debt Relief right now to see if you qualify for the Debt Reset program. With this program, your debt balance and monthly payments may be reduced while you become debt-free in just 24 to 48 months. Avoid decades of painful minimum credit card payments and the serious consequences of bankruptcy. National Debt Relief has already helped more than 100,000 Americans become debt-free, is A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, and has received more than 30,000 five-star reviews. Call National Debt Relief now to speak to a certified debt relief specialist to see if you qualify for the Debt Reset program. There are no upfront costs, and they don't earn a penny until your debt is successfully resolved. Call 800-643-2747. 800-643-2747. That's 800-643-2747.
The most popular days to get engaged are Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. And guys, finding the perfect wedding venue can be harder to figure out than the color and quality of the perfect diamond. With love in the air, Avante Banquets is here to help you plan the wedding of your dreams for the party of a lifetime at a price right for you. Avante Banquets is part of the family-owned Chicago Prime Restaurants, with a picturesque location opened just last year near Barrington, providing fine American dining and a timeless experience. Avante is an exceptional space for your wedding or corporate events and fundraisers, for an intimate gathering, or parties of 500 or more. The calendar is filling up, so secure your date today at AvanteBanquets.com. That's AVANTE Banquets.com. With wedding packages starting at just $39 a person. Experience exceptional hospitality with the Calcunos family at Avante Banquets, because classic never goes out of style. AvanteBanquets.com. AvanteBanquets.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, big news yesterday. Bill Gates is set to reclaim the title of richest man in the world.
That's because the richest man in the world is getting divorced from his wife after 25 years. He's worth, what, $137 billion? So she's set to get half of that because they live in Washington State. And legally, you have to separate everything that you made during the marriage.
It wouldn't matter where they lived. She's been with him for 25 years before he founded Amazon.
Yeah.
So that's called a marital asset.
Or that, yeah.
Now, they issued this joint statement.
It's the best. We have some music behind this. This is very serious stuff here.
We want to make people aware of a development in our lives. Jeff and Mackenzie. This is from a tweet from Bezos. As our family and close friends know, after a long period of loving exploration, that's my favorite phrase,
Loving exploration.
and trial separation, we've decided to divorce and continue our shared lives as friends. We've had such a great life together. We see wonderful futures ahead. Though the labels might be different, we remain a family and we remain cherished friends.
I have another reason why they might be getting divorced.
Yeah, their family's expanding, perhaps.
Well, yeah, because Bezos was introduced to one Lauren Sanchez. You remember her from television, from Fox News?
No, nobody does.
I remember her from El Paso. But anyway, she's married to a super agent, Patrick Whitesell, and apparently her husband introduced her to Bezos. By accident, they're all at the same party together, and those two got to talking, and now they're lovers.
Mm-hmm.
The National Enquirer has been following her and Bezos for a while now, and apparently those two lovebirds can't keep their hands off each other, and they're going to give it a try.
Pecker poked Bezos for Trump.
Yeah.
Over at the National Enquirer. All right.
Okay, we'll see what happens if
those
mediation
two
doesn't work out well.
crazy kids can't make it happen after a period of loving exploration, then what hope do we have?
Oh my gosh. Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical producer, Quinn McCarthy, our associate producer. We're back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Now let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
The very latest on the R. Kelly investigation coming up.